Good afternoon, I'm Andrew Cannon. Coming up in the news for this Saturday, November 16, 2024, infant died in fire in Mountain View, St. Andrew today. Minister of Education, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the Andrew Holness administration will work hard to support the nation's teachers. According to the PIOJ, initiatives have already been developed in response to the findings of the 2023 Jamaica Violence Against Children and Youth Survey report. In news from the region, strict enforcement measures by the Guyana Police Force Traffic Department have resulted in the issuance of over 50,000 traffic tickets this year so far. While on the international scene, two top Senate Democrats have called for a federal investigation into Elon Musk's reported contacts with Russian President Vladimir Putin and his top aides. While in sports, Salt and Bethel hit half centuries for England as the English are now 218 for 5 against West Indies in T20 action. The details after this.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
An infant, Fabian Ennis, died in a fire earlier this afternoon in Mountain View, St. Andrew. A lighter was the cause of the tragedy. Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, told Nationwide News the circumstances that led to the death of the infant, who was said to be a 1-year-old.
I can confirm that there was a fire at 110 Mountain View Avenue, Kingston, at approximately 12:53 p.m. The Rallington Town unit was notified of a building on fire. When they got to the given location, they discovered a building fully engulfed. They immediately got into operation and quickly brought the blaze under control. And while conducting cooling down operation, the remains of an infant was discovered. We subsequently learned that the mother would have left the infant in the care of a 4-year-old and went to the shop. And the cause of the fire, we have this determined, was the 4-year-old was playing with a lighter, which caused the fire.
Commissioner Beckford said a total of 8 persons were affected, including the victim. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Fire Brigade Commissioner is once again appealing to parents and guardians not to leave children unattended.
This is another tragic loss of life, one which is preventable, because we continue to stress and we continue to emphasize parents need to act a little bit more responsible, because it is a common practice of a parent to leave young children on their own. And when you do that, these are the likely consequences. And so I want to urge parents to resist the temptation to leave their children on their own. Ask a neighbor to give an eye or to stay with the kids while you are away. It only takes a few minutes for a fire to start and quickly spread throughout a building. The next thing you know, a child or two may end up dead.
Stuart Beckford, Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade. We have to work really hard to support our teachers. That's what Minister of Education, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, says is the goal of the Holness administration. She was speaking on Thursday during a tour of the Morant Bay High School in St. Thomas.
One of the things I can say from the tours of the 4 schools that I did today in St. Thomas is that we have really great leaders in our schools who are doing extraordinary work. I saw teachers who were so committed to their students. You could see how alive they were when they were talking about the programs they were doing for their children. And that's what we want, and that's what I want to say to Jamaica, is really that we have committed teachers in Jamaica. And what we have to do in terms of the ministry is really work as hard as we can. We know the resource constraints, but we have to work really hard to support our teachers, because what they do is not easy at all.
The minister earlier toured several other schools in the parish, including Morant Bay Primary. Dr. Morris-Dixon says she was encouraged by the literacy program she observed at that institution.
At one of our primary schools, at Morant Bay Primary, I saw the interventions on literacy, and that's something that I'm absolutely very much big on. because we need to correct the problems earlier. We can't be saying to you in high school you need to remediate. We have to fix earlier. And I saw a school that put in place programs where they take those who have challenges out 5 days a week and give them support. And they had a really, it's just beautiful. A beautiful lab where they also had children doing literacy work on screens. I mean, very sophisticated things I saw.
Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, Minister of Education. Meanwhile, Minister Morris-Dixon says the tour has reinstilled her belief that private sector partnerships are needed to improve the education system.
I also saw the importance of the private sector. I went to probably the best early childhood institution I have ever been in. At the, I think it's the Jamaica China Goodwill School. That was fantastic there, and I saw a sensory room for children who need to be in that environment, or children with special needs at a young age. And that was donated by the Digicel Foundation. I went to another place and I saw another donation from Digicel Foundation, and what it says is that government alone can't do everything. We have to have support. We have to have the private sector supporting us. We have to have the community supporting us. And I saw that in St. Thomas. And there's a lot to come. And for the students, I'm going to talk to you.
Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, Minister of Education. Director of Human and Community Development at the Planning Institute of Jamaica PIOJ, Deirdre Coy, says several initiatives have already been developed in response to the findings of the 2023 Jamaica Violence Against Children and Youth Survey Report. The findings were revealed at a launch held at the S Hotel in Kingston on Thursday.
Data is being translated into national strategies and actions, and we developed recommendations in line with the Inspire strategies.
Yes.
So, for example, we looked at strengthening policies and laws and regulations that will protect children from all forms of violence. Other recommendations that came out include developing child protection early warning systems, reducing violence by addressing hotspots, strengthening and expanding parents and caregiver programs to reduce violence, abuse, and neglect of children and adolescents. So these are just a few of the strategies and actions that were developed or that came out of this process.
Deirdre Coy, Director of Human and Community Development at the PIOJ. The sample size of the study was 1,512 Jamaicans aged 13 to 24. Of this number, 757 were females and 755 were males. According to the study, 3/4 of the nation's young people have experienced violence in some way. 77.2% of females and 77.6% of males said they experienced violence in their youth. The study also revealed that 1 in 4 females and 1 in 10 males have experienced sexual violence. Meanwhile, Senior Director of the Children's Affairs Policy Division in the Education Ministry, Hyacinth Blair, says the Child Care Protection Act is among legislation set to be influenced by the findings.
There is in existence some programs and activities that are, as they just said, in alignment with Inspire. However, we recognize that these need to be strengthened. And so work continues. But what the data will do for us is to guide us exactly as to the areas that we really need to focus on. For instance, the Child Care and Protection Act that has been under review, and it is being reviewed right now. And we are at a stage where we are consulting the stakeholders on it in terms of the changes that we want to make to the legislation.
Hyacinth Blair, Senior Director of the Children's Affairs Policy Division in the Education Ministry. And the study shows that 1 in 3 youth were revealed to have experienced childhood violence from parents or caregivers. It also revealed that 45% of females and 37.9% of males witnessed violence in their home during childhood. Ms. Blair believes the National Parenting Support Commission must implement more strategies in order to end the normalization of violence in the home.
I know that the National Parenting Support Commission is doing a lot of work in that aspect. I would imagine that the entity needs to be strengthened maybe to have a greater reach. And so I know that there are parenting classes that are happening, parenting education continues, there are parent mentors that are all over the country. But I think one of the things we have to look at is that this is really one of our more normalized issues that we have in our society. And so it takes a while. So you may teach a parent, a new way of positive discipline, but really it's something that has to be reinforced from different angles.
Hyacinth Blair, Senior Director of the Children's Affairs Policy Division in the Education Ministry. To news on from the region, strict enforcement measures by the Guyana Police Force Traffic Department have resulted in the issuance of 59,987 traffic tickets this year, amounting to fines exceeding $393 million. Speeding remains a primary focus, accounting for 37,381 tickets issued, while 1,789 cases of driving under the influence were also recorded. To bolster these efforts, the department is employing plainclothes officers and smart vehicles to enhance the detection of reckless road users. The GPF has rolled out an extensive road safety campaign to enhance traffic management and reduce accidents during the festive season. The initiative, spearheaded by Traffic Chief Senior Superintendent Mahendra Singh, focuses on education, enforcement and infrastructure improvement to ensure safer roads across the country. Speaking at the launch of the Guyana Police Force's Christmas policing strategy on Thursday at the Annex of the Police Officers on Yonge Street in Georgetown, the traffic chief noted that traffic data from 2015 to 2024 reveals persistent challenges in road safety. On the international scene, two top Senate Democrats have called for a federal investigation into Elon Musk's reported contacts with Russian President Vladimir Putin and his top aides. The senators have urged the Pentagon and the Justice Department to determine whether the conversations, which the Kremlin has denied, should force a review of the federal government's contracts with Musk's company SpaceX. The Wall Street Journal reported last month that the world's richest person has had multiple high-level conversations with Putin since 2022, while also sustaining contact with other top Russian officials. Musk wrote on his X platform on Friday that he is going to find out who's making these accusations and nuke them. And now to sports. The West Indies reach 54 without loss after 5 overs at news time, chasing 219 to beat England in the 4th game of their T20 International Series at the Darren Sammy Stadium in St. Lucia. Evan Lewis, 15, and Shai Hope, 34, are the men at the wicket. Earlier, England powered to 218 for 5 off their 20 overs, with Jacob Bethel getting a top score of 62. Opener Phil Salt weighed in with 55, captain Jos Buttler 38, Will Jacks 25 and Sam Curran 24. Gudagesh Moti picked up 2 wickets for the West Indies, with Alzari Joseph and Ruston Chase bagging 1 each. And now for a recap of the top stories making the nationwide news at 5. Infant died in fire in Mountain View, St. Andrew today. Minister of Education Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the Andrew Holness administration will work hard to support the nation's teachers. According to the PIOJ, initiatives have already been developed in response to the findings of the 2023 Jamaica Violence Against Children and Youth Survey report. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next at 9 tomorrow morning, but stay tuned because coming up next is Wayne Walker with Sports Nation Live.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
The Police Civilian Oversight Authority will be hosting its awards ceremony for Area 2 Transforming Our Police Services TOPS competition on Wednesday, November 27, 2024. The TOPS program, established in 2019, is aimed at increasing compliance with Jamaica Constabulary Force policies and procedures. Additionally, the program seeks to boost the morale of police officers. The program is comprised of 4 phases: the TOPS Area Competition, the TOPS Area Award Ceremony, Area Performance Review Meeting, and Re-Inspection. Join Cliff Hughes online from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we broadcast live from the TOPS Award Ceremony, Wednesday, November 27, 2024, only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Police Civilian Oversight Authority. Due to the live broadcast of the East and West Portland Joint Constituency Conference at Port Antonio High School on Sunday, November 17 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Mayor's Parlor will be aired from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Nationwide 90 FM apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM.
Is that really Cliff Hughes talking?
Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also, tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Was Cliff Hughes really talking like that?
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand.
As a parent, you give your children a good start in life. You nurture, protect, and guide them. Parenting is a process that prepares your child for independence. As your child grows and develops, there are many things you can do to help your child. Stay tuned to The Big Show, Nationwide this morning, for parenting tips. Fridays at 6:53 a.m. Only here will you learn everything you need to know about parenting. Tips to help parents navigate the incredibly challenging and rewarding journey of child rearing. Parenting tips on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Hello, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. It's another Saturday here on Nationwide 90 FM, and it's time for Sports Nation Live. My name is Wayne Walker. I'm again rolling solo for the third week in a row. Is Alaric coming back? I'm not sure. Think so though. But once again, good afternoon to you. If you bowl it, we'll hit it for 6. If you pass it, we'll score it. Give us a pool and we'll dive right in. And as fast as the starter's gun fires, we're right there at that finish line. This is Sports Nation Live here on Nationwide 90 FM. It's also Nationwide Radio JM.com and Flow Channel 916. You can also tune in to our program live on our YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM. And remember to like, subscribe, and share our content. We've got another interesting show lined up for you. As usual, we'll take your calls at 7:30 and we'll open the lines. And if you want to log the numbers very early so you don't forget it, the numbers to call at 7:30, 876-630-9371, and it goes right the way through to 4. Let me repeat, 876-630-9371, and it goes right the way through to 4. So many things to talk about. Jamaica played England in netball today. The game ended in a 49-all tie. The very last shot of the game went to Shanice Beckford of Jamaica, and she converted. The Jamaicans would have been beaten 49-47. They've got another game tomorrow at the same venue at the AO Arena in Manchester, England. And I tell you what, at 6 o'clock this evening, we're going to go live to England to talk to the coach of the national team, Sasha Gay Henry. It will be 11 o'clock in England when we link up with her at 6 o'clock. But she says it's okay. She's reviewing the tape of today's game. So she'll be up and she'll be able to give us a very good analysis of what took place today. Yeah. So looking forward to that interview with Sasha Gay Henry, coach of the national senior netball team. It's a reciprocal tour. The teams come back here on Monday to get ready for the return 2 games on 24-25 November at the National Indoor Sports Center. And we're going to be making contact with Karen Rosenbaugh. She's a part of the organizing committee trying to put that segment of the series together. So we'll have she and the coach together on the line. So the coach will tell us about the game today. Karen will tell us about the preparations as they are at the minute for the games here next week. And we ask you to go and support the ladies, yeah? The West Indies is playing England at the minute in St. Lucia, the Darren Sammy Stadium. I tell you what, they're going great guns. Shea Hope is on fire, literal fire. The West Indies are chasing 219 to win the game. You know how much they are at the minute? 88 without loss. Shea Hope just raising his left hand with his bat in it and bumping fist with Evan Lewis, who's right there with him as well. So the West Indies is going very, very well at the moment. What a turnaround. They are trailing 3-0 in this series. And they're hell-bent on not getting a sweep, yeah? And so they're doing very, very well at the moment. It's kind of weird that I've lost my keyboard. A computer in front of me and no keyboard. Let's see if this one could work. But yeah, the West Indies are going great guns at the minute, and it does seem, the operative word, as if they're heading for a victory, which would make the series 3-1. And then tomorrow it will be the 5th and final game. The plane taking the Reggae Boys to St. Louis, Missouri for their return game against the USA on Monday had technical issues. They left the country yesterday, had to come back. They landed at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston last night when they should have been in St. Louis, Missouri in the American Midwest for the game on Monday night. So they spent an extra night in Jamaica last night. They trained this morning. They took advantage of the opportunity to train this morning at the stadium. And now they're en route to St. Louis, Missouri, in the USA for that game on Monday night at 8 o'clock. West Indies 70 without loss, yeah? So they need another 149 to win the game. And these two boys are going at great guns, man. Evan and Shea. And it was always going to be the case. If they ever get off, it was going to be crazy. And it is crazy at the moment. So much more to talk about. We'll be talking a little bit of golf a little later on from now. And we also have football. We'll be looking ahead to that big game on Monday night in St. Louis, Missouri. We'll be talking to a local expert and sort of trying to, put into perspective what we saw at the stadium last week, Thursday. Well, not last week, Thursday, this week, Thursday. And then what we are expecting to happen at the Energizer Arena in St. Louis, Missouri on Monday. The game kicks off at, 8 o'clock? Yeah? And we shall see what we shall see. 90 without loss. They need 129. This game will be over in a rush. Shea and Evan clearly on a mission. Shea is on 53. Evan is on 25. And together they face 43 deliveries. And the West Indies is already up and running out of the Burgundy gates, and they're now chasing down that 218. They need 219 to win. We'll definitely keep you in touch with what's happening. Schoolboy football is going on. The last three semi-final qualifiers, so that the Costa Cup are being decided today. We're going to tell you how that's going to go. In fact, we could probably check in right now before we go any further. We want to get the latest scores and results to you before we dive deep into the show. So that's what we're trying to put together. But yeah, that netball game today was absolutely crazy with Jamaica and England. And the second game, it starts at 11 o'clock tomorrow, 11 in the a.m. Jamaica time. Yeah. So we're trying to source the Schoolboy scores for you because it's very, very crucial. They're at a crucial stage of the season. So the only thing left to be decided. So we all know, well, the last two semi-final qualifiers in the Manning Cup are being decided today as well. Excelsior St. Catherine, Heidel, and Campion College are amongst those still in contention. We're not bringing that up right now. We're trying to, but we're not quite getting there. But rest assured, we're going to do that during the flow of the show. Yeah, there are some international games as well that we want to bring you up to speed with as well. In fact, we can do that now. So Germany, were they in action today? Yeah, they won 7-0 over Bosnia-Herzegovina, and the game was in Berlin. And if it's 7, it means that we have a player or players who scored more than once. So yeah, Wirtz has scored twice. Leroy Sané, he was on the score sheet. Kindens was on the score sheet twice. The outstanding youngster Jamal Musiala, he was on the score sheet as well as Kai Havertz from Arsenal. So Germany produced a 7-star performance. Good for them. The Netherlands beat Hungary by 4-0. Yeah. Dumfries was on the score sheet. Gakpo, he scored from the penalty spot. So too did Weghorst. And Tumpeniers got the 4th goal. So Germany and the Netherlands, two powerhouses at the very least in Europe. And let me see if there are other games of worth. Turkey and Wales were goalless. Sweden beat Slovakia by 2-1. Let me have a look at some of the other scores. And there were some qualifiers in Africa today as well. Ethiopia defeated Tanzania. Well, Tanzania beat Ethiopia by 2-0. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, they were beaten by Guinea by 1-0. And if we come to the CONCACAF region, Bermuda, they beat Antigua and Barbuda by 2-1. And let me see, Dominica, they defeated the Dominican Republic. Yeah, so just checking in with those scores. We're yet to get the Schoolboy scores. I want to do that before we go off to our first scheduled interview. And it's been an in-studio interview. We'll be talking to an outstanding youngster who attends Campion College. And he'll be telling us about his exploits in Hanover this past weekend. So let's go to the break, and when we come back, we have our first interview. You're listening to Sports Nation Live right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Guilty. With top performance. Guilty. Easy Jackama. Guilty. Reliable. Full stop. Not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton. Available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply. We service what we sell.
Shop at Mark's Superstore Furniture and Hardware, located in Lioneltown and Portland Cottage Fair, Clarendon.
They have hardware items, furniture, televisions, washing machines, freezers, refrigerators, beds and bedding, household appliances, home accessories, and more.
Every Thursday, get 10% discount on cooking gas, excluding deliveries.
Visit any of their 2 locations or call 876-919-6067.
Mark's Superstore Furniture and Hardware, quick and fast delivery.
Labor rights, Darren Vaz on the west side joins Anne-Marie Vaz on the east side in the joint Portland Constituency Conference. Roll out in your thousands with the action team at Port Antonio High, Sunday, November 17 at 3:30 p.m. Come here, party leader, the most honorable Dr. Andrew Holness, JLP heavyweights James Robertson, MPs Floyd Green, Matthew Samuda, Colonel Charles Jr., Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Dr. Norman Dunn, Rhoda Crawford, and several others with me, your host, Terencia. It's the Showdown JLP Constituency Conference you've been waiting for. Port Antonio High, Sunday, November 17, 3:30 p.m. Darren Vaz, live camera, action, and see you there.
So welcome back to Sports Nation Live right here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walk. I'm working out with Kevin as usual. And as I mentioned, Alric is off on a long but well-deserved break. He should be back here in another 2 weeks or so. I'm just trying to source the Manny Cup games, to see if somebody has an interest in Campion getting through to the next round, to the semifinals. They're goalless at the moment with Heidel. That game should be over by now, but they were goalless. And so let me tell you what the permutations are. So if Campion College Heidel ends goalless, then Heidel would end on 5 points. Campion would end on 4. And so they would hope that St. Catherine High School doesn't beat Excelsior in a situation like that. But guess what? So St. Catherine, they're leading Excelsior by 2-1. That will put them on 6 points. So they would top the group. Yeah? So that would be 6 points. And then Campion sadly would be eliminated unless they can beat Heidel. So let me check to see what's the scores, the final scores in this one, because it is of some interest. I think I can source. Okay, there you have it. So let me see now. I'm sure everybody around the country will have interest in these 4 schools today. Full time, St. Catherine Excelsior 3-3. So Excelsior would end with 2 points. St. Catherine would end with 4. Oh, wow. No, Campion didn't make it. It doesn't seem. St. Catherine, 4 points. Oh, so they edged Campion College on goal. Yeah, Campion is out. Yeah, Eric Rademacher, sorry, bro. Sorry. So Campion College 1, Heidel 1. And St. Catherine, they ended 3-3. So both Campion and St. Catherine ended with a point each, which means, on what basis did Campion eliminated? Because they ended up on 4 points each, and Campion started the day ahead of St. Catherine. So Heidel won the group with 5 points. Campion and St. Catherine ended with 4 points. Oh, so St. Catherine Okay, so St. Catherine advanced because they score more goals than Campion. So they advance because they both ended up with the same goal difference. So they go to the next tiebreaker, which of the two schools score more goals, and it will be Campion. It would be St. Catherine. So yeah, that's it. Sorry about it for my guess. Let me look at the other group. So okay, so it's St. Catherine and Heidel who are through from that group. Yeah. All right. Let me quickly just give you the DaCosta Cup before we go into our interview. Let me see what's happening over on the DaCosta Cup side of things. It's really, really sad though. All right, so here it is. For the DaCosta Cup, McGrath, they beat Frome by 4-0 today. So McGrath will go through with Glenmuir to the semi-finals. Yeah, McGrath ended with 4 points. The same as Tetsu lost their game to Glenmuir by 5-2. But McGrath went through by virtue of what now? Goal difference? Yeah, 1, Stets -1. So McGrath and Glenmuir are through. And from the other group, it is, wow, this is crazy. Ocherius, they beat Garva-Maceo to win the group with 5 points. And then Garva-Maceo finished second. So they could afford the defeat and still go through. And the only way that happened was because Monroe, they defeated Central. So all the two teams in that group ended up with 4 points each. So it will be Ocherius, Garvey, and Glenmuir against McGrath. Some people are smiling, some are not. All right. So as I was telling you about the 57th Jamaica Golf Open at the Trial Golf Course in Hanover last week. Do we have Madam President Jody Monbaro on the line? Yes, we do. And so, based on what we were told, it was a successful day. Benjamin Martin from our neighbors Trinidad and Tobago won the title, the senior pro. And a youngster from Campion College, Trey Williams, won his first amateur title. And we heard him on television, in the aftermath of that victory, sounding very eloquent and very confident. And he's my very special guest inside the studio this afternoon. He's going to tell us how he did it and to explain how winning his first amateur title feels. Trey, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You're a little star, are you not?
At the moment, maybe.
Maybe? You're so modest. Madam President, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am not bad at all, Madam President. It's a third week in a row we're talking, right?
Yes, it is.
Wow. I'm sure you enjoyed why you're coming back, eh? Because I enjoy why I call you. You make good interviews and so on. But Madam President, Trey's here with me. I'm going to sort of delve into how he did what he did in Hanover over the last couple of days. But I want to talk to you about the overall championship. How would you, if I ask you for a report card in 30 seconds, how would you put that together?
I think it went very well. Based off of all the feedback we got from the pros, everybody had positive feedback. So, that's what you want to hear, as the administrator. So many of them have indicated their interest in coming back next year. Quite a those actually came for the first time and said that they were so impressed, with the hospitality, with the golf course, with the tournament itself, that they're really looking forward to coming back next year and bringing some more people with them. So we're very pleased. I think it was a very successful and a very exciting 57th staging.
Very, very well. Does it make you happy that even though a Jamaican didn't win it, the title is now in the Caribbean?
Yes, and I've known Ben for quite a while. I've known Ben Martin for a while. He used to play national golf for Trinidad.
Yes.
So I've known him for quite a few years, and he's come close.
Mm-hmm.
He's finished third and fifth before. He was always knocking on the door. So I'm very happy for Ben. I'm really happy for him. And for the Caribbean, of course.
Yes, for sure. And of course, youngster Trey Williams is accompanied by his guardian? The godmother, Alison Reed. Thank you so much, and thanks for being here with Trey. I'm sure you make him feel a little bit more comfortable, These studios can be very daunting at times. So Trey, your first amateur title, yeah?
Yes.
What a place to get it.
Yes. I'm very happy, actually.
It's a big stage,
Yeah.
So, how did you do it? You shot, 13 over par, 229 over the 3 days?
Yes.
How does that match up to what you normally do?
The first 2 days is my usual type of golf. I'd say about 3 over.
Mm-hmm.
Last day, A little bit less than what I could have done, but I was dealing with a bunch of nerves, having the lead in the last day. So, I mean, overall, I'm happy with how my game was. Yeah, and I'm happy I got it done.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
18. And you attend Campion College?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you prepare for this tournament?
So, every week after school, a couple of days, well, most of the days after school, I just go to the Constant Spring Golf Club, my local course in Constant Spring, and I've been practicing there all my life. So preparing for this tournament, really, I've just been going after school every single day. I've just been practicing as much as I could. I knew what I needed to do. I played this tournament about 4 times now. So I've just been practicing on parts of the game that I know I needed to practice on, like putting, tee shots, all of that stuff, so that I could have my game ready for this tournament.
You've got a personal coach?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you're a member of a golf club in Jamaica?
Yeah, Constant Spring.
Oh, you're a member of the golf club that you train. It's strange that you say you're there most times. I've never seen you. I was even there this morning.
Oh, really?
No, I don't play golf. I go to the gym, the
Express.
Right, so I was there this morning. Nice golf course. It's really nice when you're on the treadmill and looking onto the course. It just brings a nice thing, thing to it. How was the competition? Zandre Roy was your main competitor? How was
Zandre, he's a great golfer. He won the Trinidad Open last year. So the competition was fierce. O'Shea Hay as well. All of them, they're really good at golf. So I knew what they could do in the last day. And, you know, it's intimidating, but I just focused on myself. Tried to play the best that I could. But the competition was good. Those guys, they know how to play some golf. They know how to come back. If they're not in the lead, they know how to get back in the lead. So, yeah, the competition was really fierce.
Yeah. Madam President, one of the things that you had a bit of concern about when we spoke was the approach of the hurricane and the storm, and you wanted to make sure that you had as good a course as possible. Did you experience any difficulties as a result of the outer bands that we got?
Well, let me tell you, we were blessed. We were truly, truly blessed. The day before the practice round, we had a big downpour before the pro-am. We did get a little rain after the pro-am, but not during the pro-am. And so we were a little bit nervous going into the tournament. But for the 3 days that the tournament were held on, we got minimal or no rain at all. So, I mean, we were truly, truly blessed. It was nerve-wracking. And, I mean, the day after the tournament ended, trial got like 5 inches of rain. So I have to thank the big man up top.
Yes.
I think he heard our prayers and, protected us for those 3 days. And we had it was very, very hot. I mean, Trey can tell you it was stifling hot. But that's easier to deal with than the rain. So, and the course really played well, considering the amount of water that they had gotten leading into the tournament. The course really played well. And everybody was pleased. No complaints there.
Yeah. One of the things that the winner for last year, Mr. Arf, told me when we did that interview with him was how happy the overseas-based golfers were to be in Jamaica at that time. They loved the food, they loved the sort of service from the locals in Hanover. And they just were overall, happy with things and couldn't wait for this year's staging. You would hazard a guess that was the same this year?
The same. We did. We were told that by many pros. One pro, actually the pro that I played with in the pro-am, who is from Australia, has played in Asia, based now in Florida. And he said, listen, I have played in bigger tournaments than this, but this tournament, by far, the hospitality was much better. The administration was much better. He said the golf course was fabulous, and he's looking forward to coming back next year. And we got quite a few comments like that from the visiting pros. And we keep saying this, and, Dr. Wallace from TEF keeps saying that as well. I think the big difference is that it's the people of Jamaica that make a huge difference. They don't just come here and feel like they're just here to play golf. They feel welcomed, and I think that makes a huge difference. This tournament is not as big as many others, throughout the world, but I think the hospitality makes a huge difference, and so many of them just keep coming back.
Yeah. Did you get the spectator support? What was it like?
Not that much. It was mostly just family members of those either visiting pros or local amateurs and professionals. It was really just family members. I think maybe going into next year we can maybe publicize it even more and say, listen, come down and watch golf if you've never done it. And I think also because it's a Monday, Tuesday,
right.
it does kind of limit the amount of people that can come because of work. But even for those days that are held on the weekend, if we can just advertise it a bit more, maybe we'll get a little bit more spectator support, and people will get interested in the game through that means.
It is something that I mentioned to you the last time we spoke, or maybe the previous time. I mean, you just mentioned it just now in passing. The whole question of, sorting out a weekend as opposed to 2 days in the week, as you just mentioned, can that be adjusted, or it's fixed? It's locked in?
It's a lot of it is dependent on the golf course, because as you know, we have to get the course through, the members of trial allowing us the use of the course. So a lot of times the dates are scheduled based off of those availability. And so the days that they know they're going to have high usage, we really wouldn't get access to the course during those days. So that's a little bit of an issue for us. But, trial is such a great course.
It's worth the wait, eh?
It's worth the wait. And then, of course, our main sponsor is affiliated with trial.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, I understand the dynamic. So, Mr. Trey Williams, how long have you been playing golf?
I've been playing for about 12 years now, since I was 6
Well, you look
years
like 12. So this is not... I'm just kidding. So you've been playing since you were 12?
Yeah, since I was 6 years old. I've been playing for 12 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So how were you introduced to the sport?
I was actually introduced through Alison Reed, who's sitting over there.
So Alison is a player herself?
Yeah, she's a player as well.
But Alison, you walked into the studio and sat there as if you were just a normal person. You're a golfer yourself. I probably should have brought a third microphone so to drag you into this interview now, Alison. Yeah. You've gotten away. Another time I'll catch up with you. So she sort of was pivotal to you getting into the sport.
Yeah, she ran the junior program.
Up at Constant Spring?
Up at Constant Spring.
Okay, cool.
A very long time. She hosted tournaments, got a lot of kids into the sport at the same time. A lot of kids that are playing today,
right?
Because of Alison Reed, and because why I'm playing, why I got so good is because of her. She hosted a lot of tournaments, and tournaments are a very good way to get better in golf, and it makes you more interested in the sport. So that's.
Was it something that you liked right away, or you gradually get to like it as you went along?
I was hooked right away.
Right away.
What
was it? What did it?
I'm not sure. It's hard to remember, but I mean, just on the range, first time hitting golf balls.
Yes.
And going on the course, it hooked me from then. I don't know what it was about. Maybe it was the course. It's a really nice place to be. It's a lot of nature. It's a lot of, golf carts as well. Driving around the golf carts is fun.
Yeah, that's nice. It's really nice. Yeah. So why took you so long to win your first amateur title?
Well, this is my first major tournament. I've won a couple smaller tournaments.
Yeah, but at a major tournament. Because you've played this tournament, you say 4 times before?
Yeah, 4 times.
What was your placings on those?
Last year I came 3rd place.
Third?
That was my highest.
Okay.
Out of all of them. But yeah, the reason it's taking so long, I guess, is because of the competition. It's tough to win a golf tournament. There's a lot of other people who want to win as well, and it's all up to you whether you're going to be better than them at the end of the day. So your time comes at the end of the day, and my time was this year.
Was your time this year? The eligibility for juniors, what age? The cutoff, yes.
It's about, there's tournaments up to 18 years old.
18. So you're no longer a junior after this year, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, after this year. This is my last year of being a junior.
Are you nervous about making the step up to the seniors?
No, this was a men's tournament. So, I'm used to playing against older people. against all ages. So I'm not nervous at all.
Yeah, but the restriction is now on. You can no longer call yourself a junior. You consistently are going to be playing against the biggest players in the country.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I don't think it'll be too bad.
Wow. Are you a star at school? The guys and girls at Campion, they know you as Trey Williams, the golfer. Do they know that?
I can't say that golf is as big as it could be at Campion. We used to
not the sport itself, but you're on TV. You play in the Jamaica Open. You don't get bigger than that one unless it's national trials, and you're still in school. So if you walk around the Campion College, they know you're Trey Williams, the golfer. They know that.
A lot of people congratulate me, but there's a lot of people, I guess, that wouldn't know. Maybe they don't pay attention to all of the golf news. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of congratulations. I've gotten a lot of
your principal
big up. Not.
I bet if the Manning Cup team won, don't know all the boys on that team.
To be fair, we just emailed him and noted it. Him that I won the tournament. So maybe on Monday I'll get a congratulations.
All right, let's see. I'll be checking in to find out that if that's the case. Madam President, planning already started for next year? Because these kind of events, you need to plan them like a year before, you know.
Well, actually, next year is the centenary of the Jamaica Golf Association, so we'll be planning a lot of
activities around golf in Jamaica next year. Yeah.
And of course, the Jamaica Open will be, one of the big ones. But we have a lot of stuff to start planning.
Yeah. Why do I get the impression now that you've said that it's a centenary for golf, that you're probably looking at a Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy or somebody to sort of make the 100 year special? Is that a part
that
of
would be that would be very, very good, but I'd probably have to go into the coffers of the government to make a distraction.
It would be worth their while. A Tiger and Rory here playing?
Can you imagine?
Come on.
That would be spectacular for golf and tourism in Jamaica. That would be spectacular.
I'm sure to match his wits against those kind of guys. Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. So Trey, let me get back to you. So you're the top junior in the country?
At the moment, yes, I am.
Okay. You've represented Jamaica how many times? Many years.
2019.
You've been a steady representative of Jamaica over since 2019. Okay, cool. And is it something you want to continue with? You want to be serious about? Because they make a lot of money. I know that.
Professional.
Yes. Is it something you want to go to an academy overseas or college and continue?
College, definitely. Yes. I want to play in college. Professional, it's something I've contemplated. I'm not so sure. It's a tough place
up there, It's a very tough place up at that place.
Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah.
Golf is hard alone when you're not playing for money, when you're not trying to support.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know the college circuit is very competitive.
Yes, it is. So I'm hoping that I can play in college as well. It would be a very great place to play.
Yes, in the NCAAs, it's really, really competitive up there. I have no doubt that you're going to do well. You're very confident, a little modest, but I mean,
Thank you.
I like when my sports people are bullish, not overly bullish, but have a little bit of confident thing about them. All right, Madam President.
Yes, sir.
Am I understanding that you've got a function to go, or you're at one? You're not pressed for time?
No, I have to go to one for 7.
For 7? Oh,
yes.
Well, my general manager here, it takes, 2 hours to get ready? I figure you're going to take 1. So I'm going to let you go so you could take the 1 hour. If it was her, she wouldn't be on air now because she'd be there. Brilliant. Thanks, Jody Monbaro. Let's continue and keep the link. You hear? And have a good Christmas.
Absolutely.
If I don't talk to you before. Did you watch Mike Tyson last night?
No, too late.
What? You got into the ring at midnight. The card started at 8. This is crazy.
Exactly. No. I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Not into that.
Wait, he was beaten. He was beaten convincingly too.
Yes.
But it's the biggest boxing match in history outside of Las Vegas. A 58-year-old man doing that.
Exactly.
So you got $17 million.
17? I thought it was 20.
No, it's 17 because the ticket sales, $17.5 million. Netflix would have sold theirs, but he got $17 million. I suppose he gets a cut off pay-per-view.
Yes.
Can you imagine that? He did nothing, literally nothing.
I know.
Anyway.
I know.
Go get ready for your function and we'll talk.
Thank you so very much for having me. Much appreciated.
All the best to you. So Trey, did you watch the fight?
I did watch the fight.
It was something that you were setting up to watch?
I put it on when I heard that he got into the ring.
It was too late. There were the undercards, the fights on the undercard going, and I just couldn't do it. So, what other sport you like?
I watch a lot of sports, football, basketball, Formula One, a lot of sports. I just, whatever I can find on TV, I just put it on.
Yeah, but golf is your number one.
Yeah, golf.
Have you gone to any of the majors, the Masters in Augusta or the British Open?
No, I hope I can. Something I really want to do. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, I know.
Augusta, you have
That's not far in the US, it's Georgia.
Yeah, but the ticket prices are insane.
Yeah.
Well, I'd go to a different tournament.
Why don't they make the top junior at the Jamaica Open at trial? The prize is
I'm asking the same question.
A chip. I probably run it by Madam President. And now that I know that Alison is so close to the seat of power, I probably try to convince her to.
I think you should
let them throw that into the mix as a part of it. How's your schoolwork?
My schoolwork is good so far. I'm in my last year at Campion, so doing Cape second year at Cape right now. My Cape Unit 1 results were pretty good, so going strong.
Okay. Is it difficult or to balance golf, sport, and academics?
Yeah, it's difficult. Campion, the schoolwork is tough. In general, it's hard to balance sports and work at the same time. But I've been doing this for a pretty long time, and I've found with time management is not so bad.
It's something that you had to learn, though.
Yeah,
it's not easy to divide your time, especially with the things that you like to do. I noticed when you came in, you were interested in the Manning Cup score. You follow the team around?
Yeah, I went to a couple matches that they played. I'm very proud of them for they almost made it to the semifinals. I don't think they've ever done that. So proud of my side. Even though maybe they never made it through, I'm still proud of them. They did very good this year. Nobody expected them to do so well this year. So yeah, I'm proud of them.
So because they didn't get into the Manning Cup semifinals, they're into the Walker Cup quarterfinals. Yeah, so they've got a game today, Saturday. They've got a game this week, and it's against one of the teams that dropped out like them in the Manning Cup quarterfinal. I can't remember now. I don't think the pairing has been put together, but the season is not over for them. You've met Mr. Rademacher?
Sorry?
Have you met Mr. Rademacher, Eric? The coach?
Oh yes, of course.
Good guy, eh?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's from the Netherlands, you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Dutch
guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, very good. Good guy and a good coach as well. Yeah. Well, the Campion program, football program, is year-round. I hear they don't take a break.
Yeah, I have a bunch of friends on the team, and every second they're going to training every single day. And in summer they're going to football camp. It's a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I talk about how I have to manage. I can't imagine them every single day.
Yeah. Well, if you want it, you just have to go for it and do what's required. Trey, great meeting you, brother.
Thank you. Great
and
meeting
all
you.
the best. I have no doubt you're going to excel.
Thank you so much.
In either or both, book and golf.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be following your progress.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Miss Reed? Yes, thanks. It's great having you. If you could just put the micro, if you could come a little closer, the seat have your on wheels. Thank you so much for helping to guide this brilliant young man.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. It was because of him why I got involved in junior golf, because when he started to play, there were no tournaments. And he said to me one day, how come there are no trophies in golf? And myself, along with Lisa Lindo and Michelle Gabe, we started hosting tournaments and golf camps, and program grew. So people like Emily Main, Rocco Lopez, Amandi, Monran Lou, are children that came up under the program that I headed. Yeah.
And that program was inspired by?
Yes, by Trey. By Trey wanting a trophy. Because, his friends were getting trophies in other sports, but there were no trophies in golf.
In golf, yes.
And so we made it happen.
Yeah. It's just a pity that the only people who make money out of the sport are those who excel at the very, very, very top. Yeah. In other sport, an average footballer makes millions a year, so you don't have to get to the very top. In golf, the money is centered right up there.
Well, they've started now in college where you can get paid and you can get a level of sponsorship.
That's from NIL?
Yes.
Name, image, and likeness.
Yes, you get that now, but you never used to get it before. But they're kind of they're opening it up a bit because they realize that they need to. Yes. You know what I mean? But separate and apart from the money, golf for children is an amazing game. It teaches them so much about themselves, about other people, and just respect. And it's a brilliant game for children. Like, I highly recommend it because it's hard, it's tough.
Yes, I know.
When you lose more than you win in golf, you know what I mean? And you don't have the support of a team when things aren't going right. You have to dig into yourself and right the ship and keep going, you know?
Yeah. Which is why it teaches you so much about life itself.
Exactly.
Because of the roller coaster nature of it.
Exactly.
You know? All right. Great seeing you. Great having you here.
Thank you.
And keeping on with young Trey Williams.
I will.
All right. All the best to you.
Okay, thank you.
That's Alison Reed. And of course, Trey Williams had been my guest for the last half an hour. Of course, the president, Judaman Barrow, as well. She had to run off. All right. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, we're going to go live to England to join the national netball coach, Sasha Gay Henry. Jamaica played England today, and the game ended 49-all. Jamaica scored at the last shot of the game. They would have been beaten 49-47. Shanice Beckford scored that last goal and, broke the hearts of thousands who turned up at the AOA Arena in Manchester, England today. They play again tomorrow. Sasha is up waiting on us, so we're going to go for the break and connect with her. Yeah?
You can have it all. Company events, birthday parties, or the wedding of your dreams. It's all possible at Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts. We have magnificent event rooms and a dedicated team that will make your event the best experience that only Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts can offer. Contact us at 876-619-0000 or call your favorite travel agency and ask about our promotion designed especially for you.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
As a parent, you give your children a good start in life. You nurture, protect, and guide them. Parenting is a process that prepares your child for independence. As your child grows and develops, there are many things you can do to help your child. Stay tuned to The Big Show, nationwide this morning, for parenting tips. Fridays at 6:53 a.m. Only here will you learn everything you need to know about parenting. Tips to help parents navigate the incredibly challenging and rewarding journey of child rearing. Parenting tips on Nationwide at 90 FM, the revolution in media.
Welcome back to Sports Nation Live right here on Nationwide 90 FM. It's 4 minutes past 6. And let's quickly give you an update on the West Indies core. So they're chasing 219 to beat England in the fourth T20 International over there in at the Darren Sammy Stadium in St. Lucia. So at the moment, the West Indies 172 for 4. It means that they require another 47 runs from 40 balls. 172 for 4. Evan Lewis went for 68. Shea Hope for 54. Nicholas Pooran was dismissed without scoring. He faced 2 balls. The captain, Rovman Powell, who led the batting the last time, he's on 27. He's still there. Shimron Hetmar just dismissed for 7. The new batsman has not yet joined him, and that new batsman is going to be Ruston Chase, is it? Yeah, I think. Right. So we'll keep you up to date on what's happening over there in St. Lucia. But at the moment, let's head to England and also to Jamaica, because it's all about netball. The Horizon Series got going today at the AO Arena in Manchester, England. Jamaica against the world's number 2, England. Jamaica not played a full international since that third place playoff, I think, in 2023 at the World Netball Championship. So one would have expected them to be a little ring rusty. No such thing. 49 all in the backyard of England. This is huge. Huge, really huge. But they left it late and almost stopped the hearts of all the Jamaicans who were watching the game today. Where's Shanice? What does she drink? I have to buy Shanice a drink. 49 all. It could have been 1-0 going in tomorrow for England. Sasha Gay Henry, the coach. We've got her on the line. And we also have Simone Forbes, an executive of Netball Jamaica. And Simone, I'm sure she's seen and done it all. But she'll also be telling us about the preparation for the return legs in Kingston next week. Well, let me start with Sasha Gay Henry at 7 minutes past 11 in England. Coach, congratulations, but you did it the tough way, man.
Yes. Thank you. The tough way you call it, you know. I mean, it is a tough series. It's a very competitive series. It was a very intense game, you know. And I believe that both teams did extremely well today. I think Jamaica gave it their all. Still have some work to do, but we are, you know, quite pleased with where we have started, you know, on our 4-year journey.
Yeah. You've had time to look back at the game, to look at the video of the game. Have you finished looking at it, or you're still?
Honestly, I've not started. I've just set up my stream to watch that, you know.
Okay, fine.
But, you know, so we just want to look at the bad patches, what went well, and, you know, just try to fix it and ensure that these girls just have to be disciplined and try to execute. Come tomorrow, it's going to be even a more fierce competition, you know, just to test to see how they will match up back-to-back games, you know, that they have not played in such a long while. But some of them are seasoned campaigners and they understand. So, you know, we just have to ensure that we, you know, play to our advantage, be very disciplined and, you know, play each centre pass by centre pass, being very consistent in how we play.
Yeah. I heard it was raucous inside that arena today. It was live on BBC iPlayer and BBC Sport. It will be live on BBC Sports again tomorrow. In fact, all 4 games, even the 2 here in Jamaica, will be live on BBC. But I hear inside the arena where thousands were, it was raucous.
Yeah, it was quite exciting, and, you know, those atmospheres are good for girls, you know, especially the young ones who are coming need to be exposed to that type of surrounding. I mean, the senior ones who play in Australia, they are used to it. So, you know, when it comes to these games, we block out the noise, you know, and sometimes we use it to our advantage, especially when we are on a high. So it's something that the young ones will have to adjust to. And, you know, it's a territory that we would want to have in Jamaica one day, you know, in our domestic league. So we're excited for that type of atmosphere to play in their background and perform this well tonight, you know, and would love to improve on that performance come tomorrow.
Yeah. Simone Forbes?
Well, thanks for having me.
How many more tickets have you sold on the back of the performance today?
I don't know, you know, that's to go check the ticketing people, but I'm sure we would have sold a couple more, and we invite all our horses in Jamaica to just go online and grab your tickets, because I'm sure they're going fast.
Yeah. How are preparations going, though, for the return 2 games?
So we are 95% ready. For the most part, the venue, we have all of that going. We just tying down a number of, some of our sponsors. Outside of that, I think we are ready for England.
Yeah. What's the 5% that you're not ready with since you're 95? What's the 5?
Well, it's just to ensure that everybody, the accreditations are printed, those little things. So it's not anything major. It's just when the teams come, we have their accreditations ready. Those are being printed. And just ensuring that each person, by the weekend finish, we're all in place, and we all know from Monday a.m., because the team gets back, I think, after 6 on Monday. Even though we don't play until the 25th and the 26th, we really want to have everything in place by the team gets to Jamaica, because, of course, there's the training venues that you have to tie down, the schedule of that. We have functions that the teams will have to attend. We are going to have media day. So one, we want to ensure that Netball Jamaica and the LOC were ready at 6:05 p.m. when the plane lands in Jamaica, and everything is a go.
That's on Monday?
Yes, that's on Monday, the 18th of November.
Yeah, so you've got to go on a media blitz for all of this week, because this is a big thing, This England against Jamaica, it's huge.
Yes, it is. I mean, so Jamaica-England is always a rivalry, and at the beginning you said Simone done it all. Sasha Gay has done it all as well. So she's been a part of this. She's a Sunshine girl, and now she's a coach. So she's familiar with just the lay of the land and just the atmosphere of what that's like. And Jamaica, England, has always been a rivalry. And then this partnership, Jamaica versus England, for the next 4 years, the build up to that is amazing. The result of game 1 just shows you how big of a deal this series is, and then what it promises to be in the future. I mean, Australia and New Zealand, even though England is in number 2 now, New Zealand went ahead and beat Australia in the consolation. So they are going to get some big points from that. So they might possibly jump back to second. Right. And so the Jamaica versus England series is a big deal, and I'm sure will give whoever wins a big boost into maybe possibly third, or in Jamaica's case third, and in England's case could be fourth. We never know. So it's a year rivalry from Sasha Gay and our players. Still is the case now, and I'm sure it will always be the case. So we're always fighting for third and fourth. And the idea behind this partnership is we need to move up. Yeah. We need to just break away that 1 and 2 from Australia and New Zealand and get there. And so for that to happen, you have to play more international, which is why, that birthed this series as well as the one to come in January.
Well, I'm sure you know by now that we stand ready here at Nationwide to do whatever we can to help you to push this series and netball in general along. Trudy Williams don't give us a break, and we're happy about that. Yes, she was the person the boss. Right, she is. She set up all that we're doing here at the end. Sasha Gay, so I was reading the British newspapers tonight, and they were sort of reflecting on the game. They had some long articles, which was really nice, that they broke the game down and say, Jamaica was 13 all at the end of the first quarter. Jamaica trailed by 6 at the end, and they broke the quarters down. And they say, but this is really impressive. In the British newspaper, spending so much time breaking this one down, and they were sort of gushing over the atmosphere, the performance, and so on. And they were talking about this England player who is a star, but she's pregnant and she's missing the series. They went all in. I'm not sure if you understand exactly what you're in the midst of. This is a big series. How you manage to keep the ladies' feet on the ground?
Some of these ladies are used to the atmosphere, and they have been competing for a while now. And I think that the younger ones just boost off their energy and their adrenaline. So they know that we have to be humble about it. They know where we're at, and they know where England is at. So they definitely know that it's all about performance. It's all about performance. It's all about not overthinking. It's about just staying mentally tough and ready for the game. So for that they are, and for that I love how they gel as a team. The unity within the camp, the cohesiveness is great, and that helps to keep them calm.
Is Romelda Aiken-George leading the team?
Yes, not as the captain, but as one of the top shooters there.
Oh yes, you told me that, Shami. Right, but Romelda in particular, she had to fly over at last minute. How is she sort of settling?
She is settling nicely. Romelda is used to this territory. I've been playing for such a long time, and we are excited that we could have Romelda in our camp. It's just so unique that, although Romelda has been such a person who has been playing such a long time, we didn't have any time to work with Romelda at all. Shanice Beckford never played with Romelda since 2018, which is quite interesting because they have been on teams, never played. So for them to just come in and gelling with her and, getting that chemistry, although we had a few bad patches in terms of our placement of pass, I think, and with her direction and her leadership on the court, Romelda, it really helps us, and we're glad that we could have her, and we're just, hoping that she will just remain fit for the entire series.
So is she coming back to Kingston, or is it just for the 2 games in England?
No, she'll be in Kingston, yes. The entire team come back to Kingston.
Oh, what about the 3 ladies who are supposed to join from Fast 5? Did they join in England, or are they back in Jamaica?
No, they will join us in Jamaica. So we have our rotation, so we can rotate. Our team can change for every game, so we can just name a fresh 12, which is an awesome thing for us right now.
So what's the plan for tomorrow?
We just have to stay focused. One of the big things about tomorrow's game is that we have to we want to see growth and improvement in our performance. So we want to see where the employ the strategies well that we'll go through. Some of the weak areas that we had today, we have to fix it. Limited turnovers. I think we had too many turnovers today. And we just need to play centre pass by centre pass and the discipline in our game. And I think, we'll give a good account of ourselves.
Simone, where can fans get tickets?
So you can purchase tickets online. You can go on the Netball Jamaica Instagram page, Quapid or Quapid. You get it directly on their website. General tickets, 2,000. Courtside tickets, 3,500, and VIP 5,500. So anybody who wants to purchase tickets can go on the Netball Jamaica's Instagram page. The link is there. Or can go on Quapid.com. Or if you're somebody who just prefers to go in the office, you can actually go to the Netball Jamaica Secretariat on a Wednesday and purchase tickets, or you can wait on the day, but we are recommending that you don't wait on the day because, of course, the NISC is not the national stadium, and so the tickets might get sold out. Poppy.com or at Netball Jamaica's office, or on the day, but again, we would prefer if you not wait on the day because that's not guaranteed. Netball Jamaica's office is only on a Wednesday.
Yeah. What time?
In Thursday as well, Wednesday or Thursday.
What time are the games? What is the game time?
So game 1 on the 25th of November is at 6:30 p.m. Of course, there's a pre-game show before that, and then on the 26th, the game is at 7 p.m.
So 6:30 on Monday.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, so
weekday matches.
Right. So Monday is at 6:30, and Tuesday is
at 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. All right. Good. You sort of lead me down the road I wanted to go. I don't know. Jamaican sports people prefer weekend sporting events. The Monday and the Tuesday, you don't think would hamper anything?
Well, so Jamaicans on a whole, sports people and netball lovers love the Sunshine Girls. And while we agree with you, weekend matches, we tend to prefer those because, you're not at work, you can just leave home and they will come whenever the matches are being played. Not as, easy as weekend, but I'm sure they will show up for the Sunshine Girls because somebody reminded me, Jamaica loves Sunshine Girls. They just want us to be number one. And we want to be number one too, right? And we're getting there, but of course we're going to need their support. And so, yes, Monday and Tuesday, not ideal, but we believe, and based on the feedback that we're getting, that person will show up and come and support you.
I'm sure. No, man, I'm sure they'll
show
up.
The atmosphere?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll show up.
Fed off of that. Our Sunshine Girls need that at home as well. And so we're encouraging persons to come out and support them because they give it their all.
Okay. And so the reason why I ask, by the way, you set the dates or who set the dates?
We worked together to set the dates.
All right,
the matches. So originally we wanted on the weekend, and they were supposed to be on the weekend. But we know we only have the NISC to play netball, right?
Yes.
Because we can't play outside. We have to play inside, and the arena is not conducive to what we want to international netball at that level. And so the NISC holds more people, and the atmosphere in NIC is better for internationals. And so it's based on availability of
the facility.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why we ended up with a Monday and a Tuesday. Originally, it was supposed to be a Saturday and a Sunday, like in England. And the idea for this partnership is consecutive weekends.
Right.
So it would be first weekend in Jamaica and then the next in England, or first weekend in England, next in Jamaica. But in this scenario, we weren't able to get the weekend, and so we went with the next best date, which are Monday and Tuesday.
Quite understandable. Quite understandable. So let me ask you the next question then to that, and which is why I'm wondering, because to be honest, you know how the streets can be sometimes, Simone, and people generally get off work latest 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Yes.
And so what you're asking them to do is to get around the urban traffic and to get there. Getting there is one. Then to settle, get your park. Then to get in. The 6:30 kind of close in terms. I was just wondering why I didn't just go 7 for both, or it's television.
It's not television so much more than it's. So remember now, you really want to have 24 hours of turnaround time in terms of recovery. Right?
Okay.
Yes. Even if it was 7 o'clock, we still have traffic, and in some places the traffic is very bad.
Well, you have 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes to work with. It's a lot when you
30 minutes.
Yeah, half hour is a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, yes, we could have, but the agreement is 6:37, and so that's the time we're going to go with.
Yeah.
And that's the time we thought was best. It is not the best. I mean, ideal, as we said from the beginning. We wouldn't want to have it on the weekday. But remember now, when the people come to watch the match, persons live very far as well. So we have to strike a balance.
Yeah.
We don't want it too early because persons have work, and we don't want it too late because persons have to get home.
Put it this
so
way.
we felt
Don't
the
worry
best
about
time
it.
was
Yeah.
6:30. And I know Jamaicans are going to come out and show for the Sunshine Girls for 6:30.
The indoor sports center is going to be full on both days. Don't worry about it. I was just wondering, the difference between the 30 minutes one day and the next. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. Let me tell you, once you go on the Media Blitz this week and get the ladies out there, plus the English will be here, you get them on television, you get them on radio, and you go on a massive Media Blitz, you have no issues. This is England against Jamaica, Simone.
Yes.
So
And of course, we have
don't worry about
reserved
it.
parking for VIPs. So if you want to buy a VIP ticket at 5.5, you'll have a VIP lounge, you'll have a VIP ticket, you'll have a VIP parking. So, I mean, all of that. So we're catering for everybody.
Yes. Coach, you got in quite early, days ahead of the game. Did that help? Sasha? Have we lost Sasha Gay? She fell off the line somewhere?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, you're there. Yeah, I was just saying you got in early, days before the match. Did it help?
Yes, in some way, not 100%, because unfortunately we couldn't get no court session based on where we were, but we were happy that we could come, so at least we could have the girls getting acclimatized to the weather conditions. So that was good for us, But in terms of our training ground, we should have maybe just a one day and then letting them hit the court, but we were not able to do that. And then we had some issues in terms of transportation, so that delayed us, but we still got some work done the final day of travel heading into Manchester. So we're very grateful that Netball Jamaica could have gotten us in earlier, because I know originally it was a bit later. So, that was a good thing, but, if we had more court time, we'd have even prefer that more.
Well, you put your foot in the water now, so you know what to expect to tomorrow. One of the things I was wondering, as I say, the young ladies who are playing for the Jamaica team, they've played in arenas like this for a long time, so nothing should phase them. What's your view, though, of the England team? Are they playing like world number 2?
Oh, yeah, they are. They are very impressive, and we just have to give them kudos. They have been doing a great job in terms of their program, and we are excited for them. A lot of times Australia and New Zealand, they are the dominant ones. So we would really want, England is on the rise, and we are also coming for the rise. So we are excited, and we are looking towards these big 3 teams to compete more often again, so we can get that improvement, and we can actually improve on our performance and improve on our ranking.
Simone, this series that Jamaica is playing against England, the 4-year deal where they play each other 4 times of the year, 2 at home and 2 away, is it something that AFNA has put in place, or it's an agreement between countries? And if it's an agreement between countries, are you looking at striking similar contracts with the different Australia, the New Zealands, and South Africa?
Is this a question for me?
Yes, Simone.
Simone? Okay. So we've been having this discussion with England from 2022 Commonwealth Games, and then we finalized or continued at the World Cup last year. And so we're happy to see it happen or come through. I felt like a mom of a newborn this morning when I woke up, because it's happening, and so it's a big deal for us here. So yes, the idea is, and a couple of years ago we decided at Netball Jamaica that the Sunshine Girls are a big deal, right?
Yes.
And so we're always traveling. We're always the one to travel. And then teams rarely come to Jamaica anymore, because when we do, they provide support. So we said, well, guess what? If you want us to come, you have to come back. And that's the only way we're coming. Everybody wants to play the Sunshine Girls. They all want to play the girls. So we decided that, listen, our girls want to play at home in front of their fans and their family as well. So it's on the back of that this came forth, as well as January series against South Africa. Now, it's a little challenging. It's a little more difficult to do it with Australia and New Zealand because of the league that they run and the time that league happens. But we are looking to see how, for 2026, something like this can happen with Australia and possibly New Zealand. We have South Africa in January. Next year, November, we have England again, and the hope is for us to have another series January 26th. And because, of course, the international window really just runs from the end of September to late January, because the leagues usually start in February. So the idea is, yes, while we have this with England, we need to try to get matches with the other teams, Australia, the New Zealand, even the South Africans, which will happen in January, because for me, to be the best, you have to play the best.
Right.
And to be number one, you have to have. England is coming off the back of 2 international series, one against Australia, one against New Zealand. They played 6 internationals, 6 matches in September and October, and then they're now playing Jamaica in November. So they're match ready. They're ready to take on the Sunshine Girls. Sunshine Girls who are just playing their first international in 15 months.
Right.
And so it's this for us, or at least for me, is a win. Could have gone either way, but it just shows the caliber of players and the quality that the coach has. And so the idea is for us to play more, to just play more. And so that is what we're working on. We won't have the home and away or this type of partnership with the Australian and New Zealand, but we will have one-off matches every year, at least with one of them or another team. So that's the idea.
Makes sense. Listen, before I wrap this up, let me take this opportunity to urge the Jamaicans, please head up to the National Indoor Sports Center on Monday. That's next week Monday, not tomorrow Monday, the other Monday, and go support, because England against Jamaica in netball in that place should be a cauldron. The sort of atmosphere we saw this morning at the AO, we need to replicate that. So please, I'm urging you fans, get there. And before we finish the interview, Simone is going to give you the information regarding the ticket. But let me have the coach ask one more question. Sasha, we know that's not your first time as head coach of the team, but you're back into the fold now. How did it feel when you sat on the bench today for your first big game back as a national coach?
Can I say, how is that feeling? I'm going to be honest with you.
Here you know.
I was calm. I was very grateful for the opportunity again.
Yes.
But, as a coach versus a player, I feel it's a total different. I have more calmness as a coach than when I'm a player, because, it's all about the performance when you're playing. So for me, it was good that I could just remain calm. In the morning, I felt a little butterfly, and, that was it trying to... But it was good that, I was calm throughout. When you saw them, the big hike on us, you kind of feel a little bit of tension. But, you stay calm and, you trust your players too. That's one thing, you have to believe in them, and you have to let them know that you believe in them and they can do it. So, that made it a little bit easier,
Yes.
The fact that they lean on each other and we believe in our players,
Yes. Coach, go get some sleep. It's 11:30, and we want you to be up and about, up and bouncing, as Tyrone Reid would say, for tomorrow. Because, and please don't leave it so late again and give me a heart attack, because I couldn't deal with it today. So sort it out tomorrow, ma'am. Sort it out tomorrow, ma'am. All right. Thanks so much for talking to us. Simone, could you just give us
I
the
just want
ticket?
to encourage persons as well.
Yes.
Come to the NIC the 25th and the 26th, and for anybody out there who want to support the Sunshine Girls, sponsor the Sunshine Girls, that is always open. To beat the best, it takes cash to care, and so we're always looking for any support we can get from corporate Jamaica.
Give the address for the ticket again, please.
The ticket to purchase is quapid.com.
Spell it.
QUAPID.
Okay.
.com.
Right.
Or you can go on Netball Jamaica's Instagram if you're having a challenge there, and it's in the link. It's in our bio. You can click on it there, or you can go to the Netball Jamaica's Secretariat Wednesdays, well, this Wednesday or Thursday, and purchase your tickets. And tickets are 2,000 general, 3,500 courtside, and 5,500 VIP.
Thank you so much, Simone, and thanks for stopping by. We'll definitely be pushing this for you and make sure that you get a good support.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's an executive of Netball Jamaica, Simone Forbes. And, of course, we had also the national coach live from England, Jamaica, playing out a 49-all tie today with England, scoring off the last shot of the game. They trailed 49-47. I would have lost the game. Shanice Beckford came up with a big... She was clutch. Is that what I'm saying? Yeah. People, if Patrick Mahomes don't win back the Super Bowl this year, me eat this buckle. This buckle, me eat it. If Patrick Mahomes and Kansas now win back the Super Bowl this year, I eat this buckle. Just remember me telling you, I don't care what Jerome want to say. Because I hear that he never get none right last week. None, not one. Not one. Anyway, he's up next with the Jerome Gridiron. Him going to kill me. People, I'm going to leave the studio for the next hour or so to Jerome. And, of course, Paul and Remy and the whole of them to talk NFL. But remember, I tell you, if Patrick Mahomes don't win the Super Bowl this year, well, next year, people, I'm not going to say people dead, but you understand. All right, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, Jerome Jarrett will be here with the Gridiron.
Have yourself a Color Glow Christmas with Edge campaigns where you could win amazing prizes. Just spend $20,000 or more on Edge Chem products or
buy 1 5-gallon Color Glow plus low sheen paint to enter. You could win a weekend for two at a resort among other great prizes.
Shop at participating distributors island-wide to enter.
Visit our socials at Edge Chem Jamaica for full rules and details.
Promotion runs November 15 to December 15, 2024.
It's a Color Glow Christmas with Edge campaigns. Changing lives 1 gallon at a time.
Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
I only have Hanes. Make yourself comfortable in authentic Hanes underwear. Nothing beats the never out of style ultra soft 100% premium cotton Hanes underwear. Hanes Comfort Fit V, crew neck and A shirts, absorbent Hanes socks, Comfort Flex Hanes boxer briefs for men, and stylish itch-free Hanes underwear for women and kids. Make yourself comfortable this holiday season, inside, out, and underneath with Hanes underwear for that cool all-day comfort everyone deserves.
I only have Hanes for you.
All right, welcome back to Sports Nation Live. My name is Jerome Jarrett, and with me are Paul Vaughn and Remy Evans. I hope he has some catch up for the cup that he's about to eat at the end of the season, because that's some bold prediction right there. But I mean, you know, if there's another man you don't bet against in sports, it's Patrick Mahomes. The next one is Mike Tyson. You guys watched the fight last night? I mean, a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. I mean, It was hard to watch. It really was hard to watch. I mean, Paul,
I mean, what you expected?
No, I was optimistic. I was hoping that Mike could catch him with that left, at least and show his butt up. But it never happened. Mike looked done after 2 rounds. Like it was.
Oh, you mean he looked like a 56 or 58-year-old man? Yeah, that's what happens, bro.
What was his excuse for constantly biting his gloves? Like I don't get that. What was going on?
I don't know. I never watched the fight myself, but I heard about it.
Sorry, Remy, what was that?
I say he was probably trying to keep his dentures in his mouth.
No, it was the weirdest thing. He kept biting the gloves. I don't know if it's his suit or whatever it was, but it was a rough watch. I mean, did you enjoy the fight?
No. I mean, I was out of sheer curiosity, and I messaged a brother of mine who refused to watch it, and I said to him, I'm going to watch the train wreck. And that's exactly what it was. He's fighting a man in his physical prime in Jake Paul, 26, 27 years old. Mike is 58, and he is 58 with health issues. So, he probably, really body-wise, is probably older than that. You know what I mean? And after the first round, 2 rounds, you could just tell that I think Jake Paul really showed him a lot of respect.
Yeah.
Because if Paul just came at him, he could have knocked him out. And I am glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. It was awful. It was really awful.
I mean, you all supported the Mike Tyson charity, so it's a good thing. He did a good deed for the year. Yeah, definitely.
He was. I really wish I didn't see that. I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it anymore. But I really wish I didn't stay up for that. It was bad TV. But 60 million people watched. Mike has to be considered the greatest ever. I mean, he's my favorite boxer to watch. I mean, I'm a Jamaican, but I really couldn't watch Lennox Lewis box. It was like watching paint dry, watching Lennox Lewis fight. I mean, I'm just not a Lennox Lewis guy. I like Mike Tyson. I like Evander Holyfield. I mean, George Foreman in his day was a nice watch. Lennox Lewis.
You never like Sugar Ray, bro.
Sugar Ray wasn't. I'm talking heavyweight.
Okay. If it's coming heavyweight in our lifetime, then it's definitely Mike Tyson. But I mean, my overall favorite is Marvelous Marvin Hagler. R.I.P.
Yeah, Hagler was a nice fight. So I thought the fight with Sugar Ray showed him up, but I mean, Hagler was.
He didn't lose that fight. But anyway, let's move on.
But there's a nice fight. Talking about fight, there's a nice fight tonight with Jones. UFC. That should be a good fight. I mean, Bone Jones coming back in the ring for the first time.
Better watching that, you'd actually see a fight if you watch that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fight. I'm definitely watching that one. But anyway, let's jump into some football. From one gridiron to the next. Where Jerome was wrong last week. Plenty of both this week. Last week was a week for upsets. We had no fewer than 6 upsets. I think Remy called that last week. So Remy, I have to give you props. We're props in concert, but I don't think you got any of your upsets right.
That's not true. I got my upsets. Don't do that.
Let's start with these Carolina Panthers and New York Giants. So the early game in Munich last week, it gave us some drama. But we saw Carolina coming out on top over the New York Giants. New York Giants again proving that Brian Daboll is still a coach. I predicted that if they lost the game, Brian Daboll wouldn't make it back to the United States as a coach of the Giants. But we haven't heard any announcement yet. I think they're still on their bye week. But it to me, that was the end of the Giants for me. You can't lose to the Carolina Panthers there. And Remy, are you surprised Brian Daboll didn't lose his job after that game?
I would be very surprised if they fired him. I mean, as I said before, I don't know if it was last week or in previous weeks, I said that Brian Daboll is a good coach. But
you can't be a good coach and lose to Carolina.
By having Daniel Jones as his quarterback. I mean, the defense of the Giants is one of the best in the league in terms of disrupting pass plays. I think according to PFF, they're number one in that statistics. But when you have a quarterback as mistake prone and as turnover prone as Daniel Jones, and you no longer have, Saquon Barkley, who is in the running, but for the MVP, oh, by the way, I mean, it really exposes your football team to a lot of, upsets or losing to teams that they should not lose to, like the Carolina Panthers. So, am I surprised that they lost to the Panthers? Yeah, I am. I really thought the Giants would win. I was fairly confident that they would. Am I shocked? And is it utter disbelief? No. Because they have Daniel Jones playing quarterback.
Yeah, it was really, really bad football. Talking about bad football, the Chicago Bears, where Jerome was wrong. First, let's go where Jerome was right. Jerome came out last week and admitted he was wrong on Caleb Williams and said Caleb Williams is now a bust for me. I'm out on Caleb Williams. And last week he didn't do me any favors. Like, he stunk up the joint even worse at home against a New England Patriots team that they were at least a 3.5 point favorite over the New England Patriots team. Paul, I'll let you take this one. Caleb Williams, as he lost this locker room, we've heard rumors that the players have gone to the coach and asked for the backup. I think his name is Bargent to play over Caleb Williams. Is it too late now for Caleb Williams?
I don't think so. I think let me kind of back up a bit. You have to make this about coaching. This is still a player that, by literally the account of almost everyone as far as a talent evaluator, they said that this guy jumped off the paper as far as the metrics, as far as the intangibles, as far as the skill set and everything. The Bears have not been able to develop and actually nurture a quarterback for the better part of 20 years. Yes, they had Jay Cutler, but Jay Cutler was Jay Cutler. At the end of the day, we're looking at a situation where I think the play calling and then the expectations of him in terms of what he's asked to do as a rookie is too much. You have to understand that the Jalen Daniels of the world, the Strouds of the world, that is not supposed to be the standard as far as a number one pick in the NFL. These guys need to be developed, and I don't think he has that level of just nurturing around him to be successful. But that being said, he also makes too much mistakes. He holds on to the ball too long. He does several things which are all the characteristics of a young rookie quarterback who has come into the league. So I think if you get the right kind of coaching around him, shoot, if he had Kingsbury, maybe life would be different. But as it is right now, it's just dysfunction in Chicago, and I don't see him being able to come out of that.
The problem for me is he's not making the easy throws. He can't, like the simplest throws he's not making, like elementary, first day of training camp throws. You know what I mean? He's not making those. So it's a confidence issue for me. They fired their offensive coordinator. Nothing changed because at the end of the day, the offensive coordinator is not on the field. I'm seeing open receivers. Caleb Williams is missing badly. It's
the man of the hits, brother.
It's really bad, and it's really bad. But anyway, where Jerome was right, but barely right. I had the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Denver Broncos. The Kansas City Chiefs have a different type of Obia that they work. Like it's not the regular Obia. It's not the regular St. Thomas Obia. It's not the regular Haiti Obia. It's a different kind of Obia.
I'm concerned you know so much.
There is no way Kansas City should win that game. Denver outplayed them for 59.59 minutes, right? And all Kansas City Chiefs needed to do was to block a game-winning chip shot to seal the victory, and they were able to do it. Remy, how is Kansas City Chiefs doing this? Like, it doesn't even make sense. How are they doing it?
Well, to sound like a quote you always hear them say, in order to win in the NFL, you need all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. Right? And whereas some people will say that Chiefs were lucky, I tend to disagree. Was it an improbable play and an unlikely play? Yes. But it was also a great play. Because if you look at the replay, the Chiefs basically caved in the Broncos' special teams line that was protecting the kick and put their hands up to what their coach and block the kick. It's a great play. Now, the stat of the week is from 2000, there have been 108 field goals, game-winning field goals from 40 yards or less. On Sunday, that was the first one that was ever blocked. Not missed, blocked. So that shows you, that is less than 1%. And people will say, oh, well, that's luck. No, it's not luck. A rare play sometimes is just a great play, and I give the Chiefs credit. I mean, before that, they were in position to win, and nobody expected. I think I said it last week. I said that this game was going to be tight. No. Did I think the Chiefs would have to block a field goal to win the game? No, I didn't think so. But I'm not surprised at how close the game was because the Broncos' defense has been special, and so has KC's defense. So, I think the better team won of the day. You have to execute. That's what it comes down to. You have to execute. The Chiefs did. The Broncos didn't.
All right. Well, if that's how we're going to put it, you guys hearing me? Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right. Where Remy was wrong this week. Remy predicted that the Washington Commanders would blow out one Pittsburgh Steelers. I remember him saying the game will not be close. I remember him saying that this will be a debacle. This will be a massacre.
No, I didn't use any such words.
It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the most one-sided game of the year. But guess what?
Okay, so this is what we're doing.
Guess what? The Pittsburgh Steelers went into Washington and put the hurting on the Commanders. And
a 1 point hurting. Okay.
It was a hurting. Pittsburgh should have won that game going away. There was the fake.
No, Commanders should have won that game going away.
No.
Let him talk.
Pittsburgh gave them a short field on the fake punt at their own 5.
Washington also gave Pittsburgh a short field on a muff punt. Continue.
And Pittsburgh also fumbled at the 1 yard line going into for the go ahead score.
It was not a fumble. It was a strip.
Same difference.
Continue.
It's a fumble.
It's a strip. It's a good defense.
It's the same difference. But anyway, the game. Right. Pittsburgh won the game. Pittsburgh won the game. And we're starting to see a trend. You know what I mean? Washington clearly has the ability to beat upon bad teams, but they have now lost to
low hanging fruit. I love it.
Really, the higher echelon teams. They lost to Pittsburgh, they lost to Baltimore, and I think they lost to, what was it, Cincinnati? They lost to another NFC. They lost to another.
We lost to Philly.
No, they beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, Philadelphia. So it seems as if the Washington football team, Washington Commanders, are, I don't want to use the term pretender loosely, but I want to use the term pretender.
No, go ahead, because it fits you. It fits the silly narrative. Just call it say pretend.
And I won't allow Remy to respond here. Paul, I'll let the bigger person go. The person with the more objectivity.
I'll respond. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
Paul, are the Commanders a little bit pretenders? Are they pretenders?
No, absolutely not. I think you have to look at that team and assess them on a very objective curve. They have some issues as far as personnel in the secondary. Their defense is still pretty stout. That offense is incredible. I think in the last couple of games that they've played, they've lost close matchups with very good teams. Pittsburgh's defense is Pittsburgh's defense. The Eagles' defense is no slouch. When they went up against the Ravens in Baltimore, literally just driving by the stadium, you could sense the energy there. This is a team that is going to be a playoff team. You make no mistake about it. They need Lattimore out there like yesterday. And from a standpoint of just execution, I think we look past the fact that this is still a young team with a rookie quarterback. The success that they had out the gate is not fool's gold. It is about just refining the process and being able to make sure that execution is key as they get down to the last stretch. When you look at their schedule, considering that they'll be playing a Dallas Cowboys twice, and they'll be playing the Giants at least once, this team is going to make the playoffs. They already beat the Giants.
And that's what I'm saying. They've played a lot of bad teams. They've beaten up on the bad teams.
All right. So, and they have
those are wins.
And Philly. So they, I mean,
those are wins. Because we went sit with them. I think this team is still making the playoffs, to answer your question. And in no way do I look at them as a team that pulls goals.
We only beat bad teams. The fact that we're hanging there with good teams in year one of our rebuild doesn't count at all. So calling them pretenders compared to who? Washington is not supposed to be here.
I'm saying,
what are we talking about here?
Last week you said you're out on Cincinnati. Cincinnati have lost some to some really good teams. Cincinnati they played Baltimore. They played the Chiefs. We make no excuses for Cincinnati for being 5-6.
I'm not making any excuses.
Or 4-6 or whatever the record is. But you want to make excuses for the Commanders?
No, I'm not. No. There's no excuse. You're trying to create a false narrative for the people in radio land, right? And I'm just not going to allow you to do it. This is year one of a rebuild with a rookie quarterback for a team that is not expected to win more than 6.
What rebuild are we talking about though? The Commanders went all in. They gave up 4 draft picks to get a corner. You're not in a rebuild. Come on.
They gave up 4 again. That is misinformation. Could you please stop? They gave up 3 and got 1 back. So it's really a net of 2.
But they also gave up a player. So you're not in a rebuild. They're all in. They're going for everything.
And Jerome, when did they give up those picks to get Lattimore?
This year.
They gave them up when it was very clear to them that this team had an opportunity to make a deep run.
So what is Remy talking about rebuild? What is Remy talking about rebuild? This is not a rebuild team.
They're in need of a corner. So what should they do, Jerome?
No, I'm saying, you're saying it's a rebuild, and I'm saying you can't be a rebuild if you're giving away your future for an older player.
Hold on a second. They still have players on the roster that they can trade. We don't know if we're keeping Jonathan Allen beyond this season. We don't know that. All right? And they still have some compensatory picks for next year. So, I mean, you need to just do your homework. I know it's Washington. I know you don't really care. But if you're going to say stuff, just make sure you're accurate. That's all I ask.
All I'm saying is you beat bad teams. That's all I'm saying. I'm just stating the fact.
You know what good teams do? They beat bad teams.
So you're gonna good teams beat bad teams and lose to good teams. Okay, get it. So you're gonna be in the playoffs. You're going to be in the playoffs.
Right, we're a bad team that makes the playoffs. Yeah, I know that makes sense.
Chances are your first game you'll probably be.
I wonder where the Patriots are now. That is.
Chances are if you make the playoff, it's going to be a wild card because Philly's going to win that division. So you're either going to Philly or you're either going to Atlanta or you probably be going to Detroit, and you ain't going to be favored in any one of those games.
We're not going to Detroit. Detroit will be the number 1 seed more than likely, so Detroit will be off.
It's still a young season. It's still a young season.
Okay, so. I would say, we could end up playing Atlanta. We could probably play somebody from the NFC West. Who knows? But as Paul has been saying, and I don't know if people have been listening, you can feel the bad man. Anytime the NFC East team, Jerome has a lot of negative stuff to say. So we know what that's about, right? We know what that's about, but that's okay. That's all right.
It's no hate. It's no hate. I'm just saying. I'm stating facts. This is credible journalism. I have a duty.
Incomplete facts.
I have a duty to my listeners to give credibility, to give credible
the only
analysis.
You call your name right.
Where Jerome was wrong last week. I thought the Miami Dolphins. I thought Miami under Tua was better. But I actually thought that the Rams were getting healthier and better and would have been better than the Miami Dolphins at home. I didn't expect Miami to go into LA and beat the Rams, Paul. Were you as surprised at how dominant the Miami Dolphins were in beating a Rams team, or are the Rams similar to the Washington Commanders? Are they pretenders?
I was surprised by the outcome. I think go ahead, Remy.
No. I'm just saying he's sticking with this. It's not a problem.
I was surprised at the outcome of that matchup. I thought it would have been a close game. And like yourself, I also looked at the Rams as a team that was on the rise, considering that they were healthier. They got back some key players. But, say what we want about Tua and his issues with him being healthy. He performed on the day. And that Miami team is somewhat rejuvenated having him there at the helm because they're confident that there's a quarterback that can actually get the ball to the playmakers. Even with Tyreek Hill hurt, they were still able to use him in high leverage moments and move the football. And in some ways, I'm not surprised, but I'm more disappointed in how the Rams performed in that particular matchup.
Yeah, Remy, the NFC West is beginning to look like a mosh pit where the Arizona Cardinals is leading that division. The Rams, we're not sure what we're getting each week. The San Francisco don't look like the same San Francisco team that we've seen in years past. And Seattle, I just don't know what you're getting week to week. We're used to this NFC West lining up. Who you think is a team that will represent the NFC West at the end of the day?
Well, coming into the season, I had San Francisco winning the division, and I had Arizona as a wild card. 49ers getting healthy now. The Cardinals are in pole position. Oh, before I go ahead, you consider the Cardinals a good team, by the way, or you think they're pretenders?
I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know about the Cardinals. The Cardinals stress me out. I mean, every time I jump on the bandwagon, they put up a stinker. They are pretenders as well.
Oh, okay, all right. So I think it's going to come down to a head-to-head game between Arizona and San Francisco, and that game is going to be in Arizona because Arizona already beat them in San Francisco. I just have this funny feeling that the team that is going to win the NFC West is going to be the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, Kyler Murray is playing out of his mind right now. I mean, they really do run the ball, and defensively they're very solid. They're really flying below the radar. So I think they're good. I mean, don't let the fact that the Washington Commanders blew them out a couple months ago take some shine off of them. They are a good team. So I think the Cardinals are going to win the NFC West. I think they're more than likely. As for the game on Monday night, I think I was the only one of the three of us that said that the Dolphins would win. Miami has a top-ranked pass defense. I mean, they clearly stymied Cooper Kupp and Puka. So I don't know about the Rams. I thought the Rams were going to make a run because of getting some players back. But I think from the NFC West, I think it's going to be Arizona and San Francisco. And I'm still not sold on San Francisco. Believe it or not, I actually have more faith in the Cardinals right now.
Yeah, you guys know how I feel about Kyle Shanahan. I mean, not the greatest Kyle Shanahan fan in the world. I mean,
you picked to win the Super Bowl this year, by the way, but continue.
Yeah, but because of the players, not because of Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan always find a way to screw. Kyle Shanahan always find a way to screw things up. I mean,
yes, you picked him.
So every week until the Chiefs lose, we're going to need to have this conversation. So the Chiefs are what, 9-0, and I think their last major test is I think they have Pittsburgh on Christmas or something like that. Yeah, but I think this is their last major test. This Buffalo Bills team coming up this week. Remy, do you think an undefeated season is on the cards for the Chiefs? You know what I mean? They continue to find ways to not wow you, but end the game with a W, similar to those Patriots team back in the days. Are you in on an undefeated season from this Kansas City Chiefs?
Absolutely not. I mean, they almost lost to Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos at Arrowhead.
But they didn't.
What makes you think that they're going to beat the Bills tomorrow? What makes you think that the Los Angeles Chargers won't go into Arrowhead and beat them? What makes you think that they won't lose to Pittsburgh? What makes you think that the Texans can't beat them?
They've owned the Chargers over the last. First of all, they've owned their own division. They're like 22-2 in their division in the last couple of years.
Yes, but you know what? The most meaningless thing in sports is last year. Okay, so don't tell me about owning the Chargers last year. It's not the same Chargers team. It's not.
The same Chargers team.
So this thing about the undefeated season is still on the cards. No, if you think they can go undefeated, hey, more power to you. I'm just not on that trick.
Paul, you think it's on the cards?
I don't think so, and it's for some added reasons to kind of align with what Remy said. I think when you just look historically at how Andy Reid approaches situations like this, he'll literally go 14-0. And when you get to the end of the season, if you have players that are nicked up and banged up, he starts pulling them out of game. I mean, the big objective for that team is not winning in the regular season as much as it is getting to the big dance. And if you look at Kansas City right now, they're playing better offensively. The defense is really the linchpin of that entire team. But they're not at the point where I think if they play against the Pittsburgh Steelers of the world or the Buffalo Bills of the world, that I expect that they'll win a regular season matchup. I mean, just on the merits of who they are, I don't think beating a Buffalo this week is a higher priority for them. They want to put a good showing out there, but their whole thing is we want to see you in the playoffs in January and February and win that game. So I don't see it being undefeated season.
You take a break right now? All right, so I have a point to make, and I want to make this point when we get back from the break. But I think Andy Reid has more playing for than you think. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more on Sports Nation Live.
Escape to the tranquility of Spur Tree HomeAway Villas, a placid getaway featuring 3 unique accommodations. The spacious main house offers 6 aesthetically pleasing designed bedrooms, 3.5 baths, smart lock access, and modern amenities like smart TVs. Enjoy the cozy 2-bedroom suite with private baths, or retreat to the intimate 1-bedroom suite. Relax by the pool or explore Spur Tree HomeAway Villas. Book with us today. Contact 347-307-3732 or 646-824-5232.
Due to the live broadcast of the East and West Portland Joint Constituency Conference at Port Antonio High School on Sunday, November 17 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Mayor's Parlor will be aired from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Nationwide 90 FM apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
All right, so we're back on Sports Nation Live. And right before the break, we were talking about the Kansas City Chiefs going for an undefeated season. Now, let me put it this way for you, Remy. So, Andy Reid is in a very unique position. There has been no team in NFL history that has won 3 straight. There have been, outside of the 72 Dolphins, that's the only team in NFL history that has gone through an entire season undefeated. The New England Patriots tried 18-1. Andy Reid is in his 70s, right? You know what I mean? He can't have a long, coaching life in front of him. Travis Kelce appears to be done. You know what I mean? I would say this is Travis Kelce's last season if he makes it through this season healthy. We've seen the NFL, change year to year to year to year. Andy Reid is in a position where he can be football immortality if he is a 3-time Super Bowl champion back to back to back and an undefeated season. That would separate him from Bill Belichick. That would make Andy Reid the greatest coach of all times. To win 3 straight, undefeated. That would make Andy Reid the greatest coach of all time.
Oh, boy.
Am I crazy?
Yes, you are.
What else could he do? You don't have Andy Reid. First of all, Andy Reid owns Bill Belichick. Head to head, Andy Reid owns Bill Belichick. Right? Andy Reid would now have 4 Super Bowls, 3 straight, and an undefeated season. Bill Belichick hasn't had 4 straight. He hasn't had an undefeated season. Plus, head-to-head, he owns Bill Belichick. How can Andy Reid not be considered the greatest coach of all times if he achieves that feat?
What is his record against Bill Belichick?
We can pull it up, but...
Oh, okay. So you don't know, but you're saying...
He owns him.
Okay.
We can pull it up, but answer the question though. Am I crazy?
I'm just saying, Jerome. These are the things that you need to do. Dot the I's, cross the T's.
Answer the question. Am I crazy to think if Andy Reid wins this Super Bowl, with an undefeated season, he's considered the greatest coach of all time?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely think his legacy would be, more secure, if there is such a thing. I think Andy Reid is an all-time great coach, but it's so hard to win in the NFL as we witnessed last week. I mean, they came within a chip shot of losing. So I mean, saying that he's going to go undefeated and are having this discussion at this point in time, for me, is somewhat premature, because they play the Buffalo Bills tomorrow in a game that they're not able to win, that they can lose. I mean, they're 9-0. It's not like they're 13-0, 15-0.
Yeah, but they only play 9 games.
I mean, it's really hard for me to put it in that context and to say, well, is he? He has a long way to go.
He doesn't have a long way to go. Andy Reid doesn't have a long way to go.
But let me try to answer the question, because I believe in this thing called proof of concept, and it's basically evidence of what you've done in the past to give me a sense of what will happen in the future. When we talk about sports, whether it's NFL, football, NBA, Formula One, we talk about championships. Whether you're a player or you're a coach, that's how we have these arguments to determine greatness. People who want to get into other nuances, God bless you, but when it comes to drawing the line in the sand, it's who win the chip. I don't see a situation where Andy Reid, not in the past and not in the future, and definitely not this season, is going to pursue an undefeated season at the risk of having a third go at an NFL championship, especially if you do it 3 times in a row and 3 peats. That means more to him, and I think that virtue tells me that from a standpoint of having an undefeated season, Kansas City don't care. Kansas City just wants to have everybody go through Arrowhead, and you have the Patrick Mahomes Invitational to go to the Super Bowl. That's all they care about. This whole talk about undefeated season, it's nice and it's entertaining, but it's not happening. I firmly believe even this very week they could get their first loss, and it will put it to bed, and the players will be happy with it because now they can focus on the big goal at hand.
Well, let's see. We have a big game tomorrow. It should be good. I leave my prediction for that game, but the game should be a good game. Talking about good game, we had a good game on Thursday night where the Washington Commanders again lost this week to Paul's Philadelphia Eagles. Paul, are you more comfortable now with how the Philadelphia Eagles looked? Going into that game, your star prize possession, your running back Saquon Barkley continues to put out performance after performance. I think he's now the NFL lead in Russia. Are you any more confident in your Philadelphia Eagles now after seeing the demolishing of the Washington Commanders?
I don't think comfortable is the word I would use. I would say a little bit more confident. I see consistency in how we want to approach the games that we play. There are some gaps and some issues that I see from game to game that concern me. One of them being that we have not had a first quarter lead in any of these games that we played this season. We've essentially always found ourselves going into the first half under the gun, or under the thumb rather. But I love the way the defense is playing. Shout out to Fangio for that. I love the fact that our head coach is not getting in the way. He made some stupid mistakes and some bad calls in the early part of the season, but against an excellent Washington football team, they composed themselves. The defense kept us in the game, and we executed, and we stuck to a run game that is working for us. And I think that invariably positions us as one of the teams that you have to look out for in the NFC.
Remy, are you now concerned? Is there any concern you have at all in your Commanders? The confidence of your quarterback. We keep seeing him grimace on the sideline with that rib injury. Do you have any lingering concerns about the health of your quarterback and your team moving forward?
Well, I do have some concerns about Jaden's the rib injury. It was evident on Thursday night that for the first time all season, and this is not to take anything away from the fantastic performance of the Eagles defense, right? But for the first time all season, I saw him short hop receivers. When Jaden misses, he tends to miss long. And, you could tell that, the rib injury was definitely affecting him. And, it was a short week. Usually when he plays, there's, 6 days, 7 days rest. He only had 3 or 4 days against a Philly defense that just manhandled, our offensive line. That was one of the best coming into that matchup. But, going forward, I don't really have any concerns. I mean, you've been talking about we lose to bad teams. I mean, last season we couldn't beat anybody. That's why we're picking second overall. So I'm happy where the team is at. Looking at the schedule, they should win, 4 of the last remaining 6 games. 11 wins is solid. Even if they fall and go 3-3, 10-7 is more than happy. I'll have a good Christmas at 10-7. So that means they'll be in the playoffs. So, I mean, I'm not worried about them. Like I say, year 1 of the rebuild. I think everything will be fine, and they're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, the standards very low in Washington. But anyway, let's talking about low standards. The Chicago Bears host the Green Bay Packers this week. This should be another L for Caleb Williams. We talk each week about his development, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the development. He has not thrown a touchdown pass in the last 3 games. He's not thrown any interception either, which suggests to me that he's not taking any risk. And he's throwing bad passes. But the Green Bay Packers should win this game and win this game comfortably, Paul.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Eberflus and his attempt to try to change things up is not going to touch the right chords in terms of appeasing the entire team and helping his quarterback. And I think Green Bay is stepping in a situation where this is desperate time for them now because Detroit's running away with their division. They have another week where they rested. Their quarterback had some time to get himself right. And it's just not looking good for Chicago going up against a division rival in Green Bay who desperately wants to get a W and get back on track.
Yeah. Let's not go there. Detroit should have a comfortable ride this week as they host Jacksonville. Remy, any chance Jacksonville go in Detroit and get a W?
No. Oh, you want me to say more? No. There's no chance that's going to happen. I mean, Detroit is favored by 13, 14 points.
I like your confidence. I like your confidence.
Trevor Lawrence has been ruled out. I mean, they're going with Matt Jones. Listen, if Detroit can't lose a game to Houston and where Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions on Sunday night, they're not going to lose to Jacksonville.
They're not lose that one there.
They're not going to lose that one.
Well, stranger things have happened. The Minnesota Vikings, they don't look like the same Minnesota Vikings from the first 5 weeks of the season. But they've been managing to put W's together. They travel to Tennessee to take on a hungry Tennessee Titans team. Paul, any chance Tennessee can pull off an upset in this one, or this is a Minnesota win all the way?
That Tennessee defense is really good. And I think by just comparison, Minnesota's defense seems to be regressing. I'm very, very uncomfortable about this game, and by that measure, I think Tennessee can win. I just think Will Levis is a walking interception. It's a walking blunder waiting to happen. I think you're going to have a very tight game, but something he will do is going to give that game up for Tennessee. And as such, I have to go with Minnesota here because I think at the end of the day, their coaching and execution is better.
All right. Remember, Las Vegas Raiders travel to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, they have a very winnable schedule the rest of the way. Tua is playing well. The defense seems to be picking up. They should pick up another W here, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think Miami got a lot of confidence from that win, on Monday night in LA, and Vegas is just this game to me is more about the Raiders' dysfunction as opposed to the Dolphins. The Dolphins definitely feel good about themselves, and they're very confident. They were confident going into the Rams game. That my only concern, if I would say, is that they overlook the Raiders but the Raiders are walking dysfunction right now. I think Miami wins the game, fairly easily. Their defense is top notch. I don't think the Raiders have the receivers or the offensive scheme or even the will to threaten the Dolphins. So, Miami should take this easy.
All right, Paul. The New England Patriots host the Los Angeles Rams this week. Rams coming off that loss to Miami. The Patriots coming off a big win. Patriots should be playing with a lot of confidence. They're playing at home. The rookie Drake May keeps looking better week over week. I think this is a potential bad spot for the Rams, but I'm going to give the Rams and Sean McVay a little bit more credit, and I'm going to give the New England Patriots and give the Rams a victory here. Agree?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think McVay is always a coach that, gets his team prepared after a loss. I think especially in considering the desperate situation that they're in, they need a win. They're still not out of their division. That division of attrition, which right now is being led by Arizona, really need for them to step up and just string together some W's to get back in the fight. So I do agree it's going to be a close game, probably not the most attractive game to watch, but the quality of the Rams should come out on top here.
All right, Paul. New Orleans won last week with the first game under new head coach Rizzo. They host this week a Cleveland Browns team that looks like one of the worst teams in the league. We blame Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson was the problem in Cleveland, but this is a bad football team. There just seem to be any leadership. There don't seem to be any coaching. I'm not sure what the direction is for this team is. New England, the New Orleans should be able to get their second W in a row. I mean, right?
Yeah, this is one of the most difficult games to pick. Sorry, Remy.
Yeah, man, Remy.
Oh, okay.
My apologies.
Yeah, no problem. For me, I just think the Browns are going to win this game. I know the Browns have not looked good this season, and but they still have a really good defense. Have a lot of talent defensively. I don't think the Saints have the offensive weapons to threaten them. I picked the Saints last week to beat the Falcons because you get the hype from the interim coach, and the Falcons is a rivalry game. That's one of the teams they despise, and I knew they would get up for Atlanta. But Cleveland is a different animal. I think that the Cleveland defense, especially led by Myles Garrett, can go in there, make this a mud fight. They can run the ball with Nick Chubb and company. I think the Browns are the better team talent-wise. I think the Browns are the better coached team. And I expect Cleveland to go in there and win the Jameis Winston Bowl.
Yeah, I hear that, but I just don't see it from Cleveland at all this year. I mean, you put the two teams on paper and you should say, okay, this should be a easy Cleveland win. But New Orleans is favored by a point, so it's an even game. It's a pick'em game. So,
but I think Cleveland will win.
All right. I don't know. I was going to New Orleans because they're playing at home. No other reason. Paul, the New York Jets is absolute garbage. I mean, they're just the Jets. They get an opportunity to heal some wounds this week as the Indianapolis Colts turn back to probably the only team more dysfunctional than the Jets is the Indianapolis Colts, because they've gone back to Anthony Richardson at quarterback after the Joe Flacco experience flaked out. New York needs this win. If New York loses this game, they'll be 0-4 after firing head coach Salah.
What we doing?
Like,
New York out of it already.
They're not mathematical out of it, but you can't lose 4 straight after firing your coach. Anyway, the Jets lose this game.
I'll put it to you this way, and this is my personal opinion. I've been drinking the soup of the talent on that team for a long time. Not just on offense, but particularly on defense. And I don't think they've put together one game all season where that talent has represented itself.
Nope.
I literally don't feel comfortable going with the Jets. As much as Anthony Richardson is a wild card as a player, that Colts defense and that offense, with the capacity to eliminate turnovers, will beat you. And I think the Colts are going to beat the Jets. I'm not going with them.
Yeah, Go ahead, Remy.
No, I was going to say that I agree with Paul. I think that going back to Anthony Richardson, I think if the coach just commits to running the ball and not making any mistakes, because Flacco was turning the ball over like crazy in his last few starts. If the coach just commit to, running with the quarterback and running Jonathan Taylor and just playing sound, solid football, they will beat the Jets, because the Jets' defense is good against the pass statistically, but the reason for that is they've been so poor against the run. And we know that if you can't stop the run, we have a running back like Jonathan Taylor that is a legit weapon. I think the Colts win this game as well.
I'm leaning on the Jets. 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 One more time.
And where Jerome last week?
as a young football fan, this game was for me the holy grail. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Ray Lewis, Jerome Bettis, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore was just the rivalry for me. I wasn't born when the Bears and the Packers were rivals, and I was Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore was it for me. That's football. That's mano a mano. And this game has the makings of a classic. This Russell Wilson experience seemed to be working in Pittsburgh. The deep ball is back. The defense is playing well. I know Highsmith is out, which is going to affect that Pittsburgh defense. But TJ Watt is still there. Mike Tomlin is still there. That Pittsburgh Steelers is going to show up. And I think this game is going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be in Pittsburgh, even though the Ravens are favored. Paul, I'll let you take this one first. Are Baltimore really deserving of the title as favored in this game?
I'm going to put it this way. When it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Ravens, you put out the records, you put out whatever positions that they have in the season, because it's pretty much a battle on the football field. The real statistic that matters here is the Pittsburgh Steelers is the team that Lamar Jackson has lost to the most, second only to the Kansas City Chiefs. He has not played well against them, and he's not been able to win games against that team. I think you're going in a situation where I'm not worried about Lamar and his performance. It's that Ravens defense. The Ravens defense right now, especially in the secondary, is porous. And you're going to put a guy like Pickens out there with Russell Wilson, as old as he is, the man still has dropped the bread in the bread basket. That is going to create problems. And when you're not doing that, you still have a viable run game with Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh has a defense that can, man for man, give Lamar issues as far as having open players to pass the ball to. I think this is going to be a humdinger. It's going to be a battle. I think Pittsburgh will find a way to shock people and win.
I agree. Remy?
Yes, I echo the sentiments. I just think that the separator in this game is the better defensive team all around, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens secondary is their Achilles heel. The one thing I will say is the one thing that could swing this game in Baltimore's favor is if Derrick Henry has a big game. If he does, and the Ravens are able to control the clock, control the line of
low hanging fruit, low hanging fruit.
That will definitely give the Ravens a chance. But I definitely I just feel the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. The Denver Broncos, I don't know how you get over that last week, but they have to find a way to pick up the pieces, and they have Atlanta coming in. I think if you want to get over a tough loss, playing a soft team like Atlanta is exactly what you need. I think Denver should be able to beat Atlanta Falcons at home, and I need Bo Nix to have a big game because I had to pick him up off the waiver wire this week in fantasy. So I'm hoping that Bo Nix have a good game. But I have to believe, Remy, that Denver is going to beat Atlanta in Denver.
Well, this is one of the tougher games to pick this week. Because I'm a big fan of the Denver defense. I really think they're legit, especially in a Patrick Surtain. But at the same time, the Falcons are loaded at the skill positions, and I know that this game is in Denver. But I just can't shake the feeling that some way somehow the Falcons can win this game. I'm going to go against those voices in my head, and I'm going to stick with Denver because of the defense at home. But I would not be surprised if the Falcons some way somehow win this game.
Yeah, I have Denver. Paul, the San Francisco 49ers, Christian McCaffrey came back. He had 100 yards, but he just didn't look like Christian McCaffrey's old self. Another week of practice, another week on the field. He should be better. I think this is a bad spot. This is a bad spot for Seattle. I think San Francisco find winning ways again.
Tough game, brother. This is a tough game. I think Seattle is still a team that plays excellent defense. I think the real game changer here is Gino and what version of him you're going to get on that particular day. He's been horrible this season. He's been turning over the ball, making stupid mistakes. But then on the San Francisco side, they've been more like the Bay Hospital than the 49ers. They just can't stay healthy. Kittle is not going to be out there. Despite having Debo there, he does not look like himself. In fact, the man looked overweight. And McCaffrey was basically on the verge of tearing his Achilles. Yes, he got 100 yards. I think they're just tinkering on an injury or two in terms of not being able to win football games. And as such, I think I will go with Seattle with this. They look like an upset special, like the prime fight in this matchup.
Yeah, I think Debo is more interested in fighting people on his own team than catching balls. He's Debo need to calm down. Debo head too hot. We spoke about this game earlier. I think it's possibly lined up to be the game of the week. If Pittsburgh and Baltimore wasn't playing, but this Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, this has become the Indianapolis Colts Patriots rivalry of old, where they are not in the same division, but it seems like they play each other 2 times a year. This game, Remy, should be a classic, or is lining up to be. It will be in Buffalo. The Kansas City Chiefs went there last year in the divisional round and beat the Bills. Can they do it a second time in a year?
They can. I'm just not sure they will. I still haven't, finalized my pick in this game. I mean, everything is telling me to pick the Bills, and the main thing that is telling me to pick the Bills is it's a regular season game, and Buffalo in the past years have beaten the Chiefs in a regular season. But when it comes to money time, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they show out and they handle business. So that being said, I think that Kansas City has played a lot of close games this year. The game is at Buffalo. I think Josh Allen and company are a well-balanced team. I think it's going to be a good game. And I'm going to go with the Bills with a very narrow victory.
Paul, I'll allow you to chime in.
For me, it's all a matter of what is the intentions of each team coming in. And I think right off the bat, I think the Bills, this means more for them psychologically, and even more so in terms of them trying to just completely shut the door with their division. For Kansas City, I don't think that defense wants to give up anything. I don't think they want to lose any games. I think they want to basically cement themselves as viable, because they are. But that Kansas City offense, knowing Andy Reid, the way they win this game is if Buffalo leaves the window open. If Buffalo has turnovers, if the defense is able to have takeaways, then Kansas City wins. But like Remy, it's still tough for me to make a decision on this. I think if you ask me right now, if I'm forced to, I'm going to go with Buffalo, because I think they're just ripe for a victory, and it's more so because it's the regular season and not the playoffs. But I'm still on the fence where that's concerned. But right now, Buffalo.
Yeah, like I said, the Chiefs are working a different kind of Obia, and it's not the kind of Obia that you can find in St. Thomas or in Haiti. It's a different kind of Obia, and I believe the Chiefs find a way to go in Buffalo, block a couple more field goals and win. I mean, they are going after that undefeated season. I don't care what you guys are saying.
If they do that, if they block 2 field goals outside of go undefeated, if that happens, yeah, definitely.
the Cincinnati Bengals, they traveled to Los Angeles to face the Chargers. Remy said this is not your uncle's Chargers. These are the real Chargers. Oh, please, these are the same Chargers. But the Chargers are favored in this game, even though Joe Burrow is playing the best football of his life. Jamar Chase is a beast. Last week I played against Jamar Chase. I lost by like 60 points. Like Jamar Chase killed me last week. Can Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase go off again on this Chargers team, Paul?
I don't think so. A lot of people don't know this, but that Chargers team, I think, just all around is either the second or the best defense in the league. And a lot of people also looked at the entire process of having a Harbaugh there and him making changes in how they run their offense and play defense, and they didn't expect the success that they're having now. That run game is stout. That pass defense is stout. That run defense is stout. And I hear you. Jamar Chase right now is a beast. I just think they have a plan for homie. And we'll still get his. I'm just not sure that on the other side of the ball that Cincinnati can stop the Chargers from scoring. Their defense is terrible. And when I say terrible, I'm talking like New York Giants. Well, not Giants. The Panthers terrible. And I really think that the Chargers are going to find a way to win this game.
Yeah, I just think Cincinnati is too much. I think Joe Burrow is on an elite clip right now. They like you said, the defense is really bad. But I don't think the Chargers have the players to take advantage of that. They have the wide receiver that's showing promise. Justin Herbert has shown some improvements in the past, but we know Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball. That's his thing, and I just think they are gonna try to run the ball a lot, and I think Joe Burrow is gonna light them up. Joe Burrow is definitely gonna light them up. And last but not least, we don't need to spend any time on this. The Dallas Cowboys host the Houston Texans. Dallas is a college team right now. They have very little talent.
Have to pick this game or even talk about this game.
Very little talent. They need to spend more time on fixing the lighting in the stadium more than. Mike Tyson put up a better fight than the Dallas Cowboys in AT&T Stadium last night. It's really bad. Houston should be able to go in and beat the Dallas Cowboys easily in this game. Remy, it's my luck of the week.
Well, usually when you say that, things don't go your way. Remember, you wore a jersey earlier this season.
This is my luck of the week.
I would refrain from making such statements. I definitely think that the Texans will beat them because it's not even about how good Houston is. It's really about how bad Dallas is. That shot is not out there. It's going to be Cooper Rush and a bunch of guys. You look at the body language on that team. CeeDee Lamb is not in it. Micah Parsons is back from injury. He was at the fight last night. He's definitely not locked in. He's already in vacation mode. I think that the Texans win this going away. And Jerome, I also agree with you with the previous game. I think Cincinnati is a desperate team, and I think they have all the firepower to beat the Chargers, which will be one of an upset, even though I think it's a 2-point spread. But I think Cincinnati takes that game as well. But definitely Dallas and Houston, that's going to be a one-sided affair.
Yeah, the NFL should really flex that game out on Monday night. But everybody wants Dallas Cowboys on national TV. So it's America's team, so America like to watch them lose.
I love to watch them lose.
All right, gentlemen. All right, thanks for coming on again. I mean, we have two really exciting games this week, and we're in for a treat. But just one last question before you go. Would you play Zay Flowers this week or Jacoby Myers?
You asking me?
Yeah, Remy.
You mean after you trash me on fantasy football health?
Yeah, man, I want to look at football health. Zay Flowers or Jacoby Myers this week. Like, I need to make some life decisions here. I'm making life decisions here.
Don't come over here with that. I'll play Zay Flowers.
Oh God, like he's
don't count on Jacoby Myers against the number one passing defense in Miami. No.
Yeah, but Zay Flowers has been hot garbage all week. But anyway, I'll pray on it. And hopefully the Most High will give me some.
I don't know. You've been
I will pray. I will pray on it, and hopefully I'll get some intervention from the Most High. But anyway,
we will be praying for you.
Anyway, gentlemen, it's been nice. It's been good. Good show. And we'll talk. We'll be back with more on Sports Nation Live.
Pass your exams at Maths Unlimited with Exam Pass, the 3-step system to exam success. 1. Complete critical topics in teaching sessions. 2. Do past paper questions by topic in practice sessions. 3. Revise intensely with topic reviews and exam drills. CSEC, CAPE, PEP, City and Guilds, face-to-face and online. Call or WhatsApp 876-540-9281.
KFC popcorn chicken. KFC popcorn chicken. Incredible, delicious finger licking in the sauce when me dip it. I can't resist it. Once you start, you can't stop.
Do whatever the crunch you want with KFC's popcorn chicken. Delicious, juicy, irresistible. Now available in barbecue. KFC, it's finger licking good.
KFC popcorn chicken.
Are you you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
So welcome back to Sports Nation Live right here on Nationwide 90 FM. We're in the last 26 minutes of the show. And you heard from Sasha Gay Henry live from England on that epic netball game between Jamaica and England today. And of course we had young Trace Williams in studio today, the young Campion College star, winning his first major amateur championship at the 37th Jamaica Open Golf Championship. And now, we're going to be talking football to close out the show. By the way, the West Indies won the game by 5 wickets. They made 221 for 5. They were set 219 to win. And they ended up on a 221 for 5 in the 19th over. So they still had an over to spare. It was a real clinical display from the West Indies team. Evan Lewis made 68, 54 from Shea Hope. Rovman Powell, 38. And Shafeen Rutherford not out on 29. The final game in the series, the fifth and final game in the series. By the way, Rayam Ahmed picked up 3 wickets for England, 3 for 43. The final game in the series is tomorrow, also at the Darren Sammy Stadium in St. Lucia, and it starts at 3 o'clock to close out the series against England, and then they go straight into the series against Bangladesh, the Test series. And the Schoolboy football we told you about today, You heard the breakdown of the quarterfinal qualifiers. Ocherius managed to get in there. McGrath got in there as well. Glenmuir were already there. And so we're looking forward to some good football at the business end of the championship. Right. So the quarterfinals of the Ben Francis Cup as a result of what happened today. Central will take on Clarendon College, and this will be on Thursday. That's next to Thursday. Central against Clarendon College, Monroe against Denbigh, Frome against Manchester, and Stets against Cornwall. And those are the Ben Francis Cup quarterfinals as a result of what happened today. And as we go along, we'll be giving you the matchups in the different tournament. All right, so Jamaica, the national senior football team, they landed safely about an hour ago in St. Louis, Missouri, and they're there for the second leg of their quarterfinal CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinal tie against defending champions, the United States. It's a second leg. The Jamaicans must win. The U.S. need only a draw to advance after winning the first leg in Kingston a few nights ago. Ricardo Pepi scoring on minute number 5. He was scoring his third goal against Jamaica. He scored a pair of goals against Jamaica and the United States in a World Cup qualifier not too long ago. And so he loves the sight of the Jamaica team. Yesterday, the plane taking the Jamaica team away had to turn back. They actually left the country, developed mechanical problems, and had to come back. The team landed back in Kingston last night, took the opportunity to train this morning, and then they flew out this afternoon at 2, and they're now in St. Louis, Missouri for the game on Monday night at 8 o'clock Jamaica time. So we want to sort of dissect what happened on Thursday at the stadium and sort of look ahead to what possibly will happen in St. Louis, Missouri on Monday night. And to do so, we have turned to the excellent Nodley Wright, a very brilliant football mind, sportsman all round, but he really talks a good football. And so we've turned to him to sort of help us to make sense of what's happening in this quarterfinal tie. Nodley, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good evening, Wayne, and thank you. Well, you're too kind. Hopefully
I don't disappoint. And really, I struggle to make sense of what's happening now.
No, but you never do. All right, so let's quickly just look ahead. On Thursday, the Jamaicans lost by a goal to nil. It's the first defeat under the new manager, Steve McLaren, and we yet to score a goal at home under this coach. What do you make of what we've seen so far, and particularly on Thursday night? Why the team played that way? I mean, many people are of the view that it was a below par performance, to put it mildly. What's your take?
Well, definitely it was a below par performance, especially based on the fact that this USA team that came here, they didn't look particularly good either, and for us not to impose ourselves on the game, for me, it's like a tragedy. And you did ask the question before, why is it that we performed that way? There was a change in formation, a formation that the team hasn't really played. Additionally, a number of the players, defensive players, aren't really comfortable with playing in a three-man back line. Maybe only Ethan Pinnock. Ethan Pinnock didn't play. He's out on cards, so he was not available. So I don't think that was the wisest decision to make, to change the formation with limited time and with a squad that has limited experience in it. You look at the makeup of the team. The last match we saw here and the match that we played away, having not excelled against, I think it was Nicaragua.
Yes.
When we traveled away, we had Tyreek McGee came in, looked good. We had Norman Campbell, looked good. Norman Campbell wasn't involved in this squad. We also saw where Tahim Dixon, whenever he comes on for us, he brings excitement. There is Ronaldo Cephas, and we saw the same kind of a thing, the injection of energy, a direct kind of a play, pace that puts the opposition under pressure. We never had that. There is also the belief, one which I share, that this coach isn't really doing enough. I see a degree of laziness. I think he spends too long in the UK and too little here. It's almost as if he only comes when there's an assignment. And this is something that we saw in the latter part of Hal Gibson's reign. I think the last 6 months, he wasn't resident in Jamaica. He only showed up when there were engagements that should not have been allowed. And I'm of the view that it ought not to be allowed this time around, though I'm not sure if the arrangements with McLaren are different. And I'll go as far as to say I was never in favor of McLaren getting this job. I wanted someone younger and someone who has a greater connection to Jamaica. Not necessarily just in terms of melanin, but one who is connected in terms of the way we play, perhaps one who has represented us before and has now moved into the ranks of coaching.
Mm-hmm. But and I get you. What would have informed the coach changing the formation? The opponent, did he not like what he saw from the previous games that he was in charge of and the system that he used? What would have informed that change in formation?
It's a very good question, Wayne. I wish I knew. But I'm also questioning his insistence on selecting Latibedir. I like Latibedir, but he's not a midfielder. And I'll ask you this question. Did you notice that there are only about 4 or 5 midfielders chosen for this squad? Because Latibedir was named as a midfielder. He's really a defender. And then there are about 9 defenders named in the squad. And 7 forwards. So you see the clear imbalance in the team. Mm-hmm. And in the 4 or 5 midfielders, who was really the creative type? Just McGee. There's Casey Palmer. He had a good game against Cuba, and which flattered us, but we have since been deceived because he hasn't been able to replicate that. And the question is it because Cuba was not of the standard?
I would think so. Because why would you not be able to replicate that? We've played, 3 other games after that, or 2, 3, and you've not seen anything close to what he showed on that night at the stadium against Cuba. You're right. I don't know. You mentioned something about the coach and the arrangement. There's absolutely the coach is like a player. He comes in when the players come in. One, to me, is at a disadvantage because he doesn't see the local players. And even though he has hinted...
Maybe he has no interest.
Right, I was going to say he has hinted that, he doesn't, have time for the local players. And so, because even if you have a Meron Gordon, who is a Jamaican and who knows the players, recommending, that can't be enough for a team preparing for a World Cup where the head coach takes a recommendation on local player because he's not here to see them. I've never seen it. I don't understand it.
Wayne, some things are better left unsaid. But the window before this, do you remember that they had to delay the announcement of the squad?
Yes.
And you know why that was? Because they got here late. I think they missed their flight.
Yeah,
no, that kind of a thing. Because of traffic. Now, had that been a player, sanctions would have been in place. How can I... Sorry, go ahead.
Am I remembering that the last naming of the squad to face the USA, the coach did it online?
I missed the naming. I saw the squad.
No, man, he did it online from England. He came in when the team came in.
So you see, I find this kind of behavior disrespectful. First of all, I am of the view that the coach should be here to develop a team, a cohesive team. No, this man pops in and pops out. And the fact that he's allowed to behave this way, what of the leadership of the JFF? What about the president? What about the general secretary? I think the general secretary is more interested in managing the accreditation process as opposed to doing things which really should be under his portfolio. Busy cutting people off accreditation list when more serious matters ought to be dealt with, such as this man giving value for money. Because I know he's not doing this pro bono. And how it is that you're coaching a country's team and there is a local league and you spend no time, you don't look. And it is, I remember the latter part of Hal Grimson's reign when I saw him on the bench, looking past Meron Gordon and looking to other people, John Wall and others, to take recommendations. And I've gotten it from good source that he was briefed, McLaren was briefed by Hal Grimson before he came here.
Yes, he did say he spoke with him.
Okay, and it's quite logical that happened because if you look at the squad, how many differences have you seen? How many in terms of personnel?
Between the two coaches.
Okay. Now, this man speaks about when he first saw McGee. Oh, yes, he loves playing with a number 10. He spoke glowingly of him. He spoke highly of Dixon. He spoke highly of Cephas. Yet it is, they seem to be afterthoughts.
Yeah. One of the shockers to me as well, Mason Holgate has performed in the Premier League, so he performs at the very top club level. But seeing him not late,
Everton, but he's not really active right now.
No, I know, and I was saying, I can't see what would inform Mason Holgate. What does he have that a Richard King doesn't?
What does he have
that a Richard King doesn't?
That's the name I was going to. But even before we get to Richard King, let's just say that he prefers those born in the UK, and I have no issues with them.
No, man, you can't be just a preference. It must be that you make the team on.
He is born. So before we go to Richard King, Deshaun Bernard has been a part of the setup before and has played. How is it that you have a Mason Holgate who is less active than a Deshaun Bernard now comes in and plays in such a high profile game? What justifies this?
Exactly. And you just say, let's say he prefers. You can't pick a team on preference. It must be competence.
That's how it looks to me, because this team is not being selected on merit. It's not being selected on merit. If it was being selected on merit, how would you justify Alati Badir when the last time Jashawn Anglin, though he's really unrecognizable now, because when I saw the fella, I thought it was Cartel's son, but it was just the style of play, and when I heard his name, that I realized that it was him. He's really a steady and stable central midfielder, much more mobile, progresses the ball and handles it far better than Latibadair. I do not dislike Latibadair. He is more of a defender than he is a midfielder.
Yes.
And we had an issue with Hal Grimson forcing him in the team and removing. There's also Jonathan Russell.
Yes.
Who, the first time we saw Jonathan Russell play for Jamaica, he fitted in so naturally. He came on as a substitute when I think we went down by a man, and then a defender, I can't recall at this time, fitted in at central defense. He played easily, and we looked good. He looked like a football player, and his style matched how we play. Not quite like a Ravel Morrison, but he looked like a footballer. He looked like a ball player. The view is that he doesn't train very well.
Very well.
But you know what he can do?
Yeah.
So utilize him in the match. Why punish him to punish us because you feel that he doesn't train well? Find a way to get him to train well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
you don't. He doesn't train well, but he performs well in matches. How does that hurt us?
Yeah, which is one of the reasons that the coach gave for Latibadair. He'll never see him drop him. He says this boy trains better than everybody else that he knows. But does he put it out there when he goes into the actual game? Again, the question is asked: do you want a guy who trains well but doesn't play well when he go in the actual game, or somebody who is not so great at training but whenever he steps out onto the field to deliver, he does? And this is the same thing with Latibadair. You'll not see him drop him. He says he loves the work rate, the intelligence that he shows in training, but we're not seeing it when he is out there playing in a particular position.
Maybe a message needs to be sent to McLaren that this is not Team McLaren. This is Jamaica. They're not representing you. They're representing us on the rock and in the diaspora. And what we're seeing now is not representational. It's not of us.
What about
we need to? Oh, go ahead.
What about Leon Bailey?
What about him?
In terms of his performance, he's not really touched the heights since he. Yes.
If he has had a good game in a Jamaican shirt, or let's just be kinder by saying that the number of good games that he has had in a Jamaican shirt wouldn't pass 3, if that many. Humility is a good thing. I think he's being hurt by his own perception of self. He thinks he's greater than he is. He's not a bad player. He has decent skills, but he's so egotistical that he doesn't function well in this space, and he puts too much pressure on himself. So he really doesn't play freely. And the guy, Craig Butler, hasn't helped him at all. They've been so disrespectful to the Jamaican people, to the JFF, though the JFF sometimes causes that on itself. But I remember before he came back, before he played his first game as a senior, there was the idea that they should have been twinned, that Bailey had to come in the squad with Kyle Butler. Where is Kyle now? Where's Kyle now?
He's playing in the Nations Top League.
What happened last weekend? Well, let's not go there. But the thing is, Leon Bailey has not justified his selection in the Jamaican team, and he really should not have come back without addressing some matters. And I'm going to say this, even though Dejon Richards is injured, I don't like the way he behaves or the way he treats Jamaica's team. And I'm of the view that our last under-20 qualifiers, Richards should have been a part of that. He's of that age group, and he should have proven himself there. I think he was called much too early to that. You know, he's a good player, but sometimes they get thrust into situations that they're not ready for. But let me just segue quickly. You have Shamar Nicholson, and you spoke about, there's something that you mentioned that just brought me back to him, and it's about mentality. The mentality of a Shamar Nicholson. We saw it when we were as good as dead in, was it the Gold Cup qualifiers in Canada when we played away? And we saw the role that Shamar Nicholson played.
Right.
Again, on Thursday, the leadership, the fight, the hunger, the desire, all of these adjectives, that penalty that we won, it was pure heart, desire, and of course, skill. And to take that penalty and hand it to Damari Gray, who is another player, when he just came in, he was on fire. There was a lot of hunger and desire. What has happened? Now playing in the, is it Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, he's in Saudi Arabia. Yes, Saudi Arabia.
So I guess he's become comfortable. He has put on weight from what I can see. So there's no longer that hunger and desire. But the likes of a Shamar Nicholson is what I want to see. And I'd hate to think that is because Shamar was born in Jamaica and he has a greater feel. He shares the pulse of the people. That is why he performs that way. I'd hate to think that there's some kind of a disconnect with the others.
Yeah. What do you expect in St. Louis on Monday, given what you saw at the stadium on Thursday?
Honestly, I don't know. I suspect that Michael Antonio will come in. Ethan Pinnock will come in, so there should be a little bit more experience. But I do hope that with Antonio coming back in, it doesn't mean that Shamar Nicholson then goes to the bench.
Then what is going to happen then? Can you afford to play both?
Well, if that is the case, then Shamar Nicholson has to start. And here's something else I didn't understand from Thursday. Leon Bailey hasn't played 90 minutes of football in a while. Wasn't having a good game, yet he played 90 minutes.
He plays in the English Premier League, you know.
No, he didn't play a full 90 minutes. Never played a full game. Hasn't played a full game.
No, I know, but I'm saying to you, he played a full game in the national colours. He plays in the Premier League. You can't take him off.
Oh, now I see what you're saying. So clearly, we're playing names, we're playing leagues, and quote-unquote reputation.
Yeah.
We're not playing performance. We're not playing merit. And the sooner McLaren realizes this, the better it will be for all of us. Or maybe we need to end this experiment.
Yeah. Who I'm sorry for is Tyreek, because we're given information that what's the midfielder name from Manchester? Well, former Manchester United. Name escapes me.
Not Mason Greenwood at all.
Not Mason Greenwood, man. Ravel. If he comes in, then McGee is going to drop further down the pecking order.
And that would be a pity.
But we've seen it before.
Yes. But you know what? I remember when Ravel Morrison was one of the few people singing Tyreek McGee's praises. I don't remember if you saw that interview when he was speaking of the talent.
Yes, I saw it. Yeah, man, I saw it.
He spoke of McGee, and was it Campbell? He spoke about
both of them.
Two of them that he was so impressed with. So you see, real knows real, you know. And I suppose real talent recognizes real talent.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we just have to wait and see what happens in St. Louis, because they've got to win this game to stay in it. If they don't win it, then they're out. And I'm not saying it is impossible, but when it matters, we don't beat the United States, and there's never been a more time when it's mattered now for them to beat the States, and to beat them in the United States. It's a difficult undertaking. It is possible because this team has shown heart. They've shown that they do better away.
They went away to Canada.
Yes,
and people
right. So they have it in them to do it. And besides, this team has shown that they play better away from home generally. So we have to hope that they produce one of those, spine-tingling performances away.
You're saying it's true. It's clear that we play better away from home. And that has to change, because we are going into serious World Cup qualifiers pretty soon. So is this how we are going to perform? The only time we have qualified for the World Cup, our home advantage meant so much to us. And normally, and that is the norm. You capitalize on your home ground. And what we're seeing here is that there is no real connection between
the fans and the team.
Between the fans and the team. And a big part of that is the coaching staff. You remember, for the 1998 Simoes, though he was a rare kind, a very charismatic guy who understood the pulse of the people. And he was able to galvanize or to play on the emotions and to pull people. I see no connection with McLaren and the people. And he does have the personality, you know.
Yes.
While I say Hal Grimson had the personality of a piece of board, McLaren is a different kind of guy. He can generate interest. He can go out there. Simons is a great marketer and seller of what we have or had.
Yeah,
I need to see McLaren.
But he has to be here to do that, Nodley. He can't do it from afar. He has to be here, and he's not here.
So maybe we need to do something about that.
Well, let's see. Nodley, always great talking to you, bro. And let's see what happens on Monday, and we'll talk again.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you, man. That's Nodley Wright, well-known local football pundit, well-known sports reporter, and so on. So it's... I'm sure everybody knows Nodley Wright. All right, we've come to the end of the show. Kevin, thanks a lot, brother. Trey Williams, thanks for stopping by, along with Miss Reed. We also had a chat with Nodley and, of course, Sasha Gay Henry, the coach of the national netball team, and Simone Forbes, an executive, talking about the 2 games in Jamaica, 25-26 November. Well, we've come to the end of the show. We're going to do it all over again next week, Saturday. My name is Wayne Walker. I'll be back to do that for you. And then let's see if Alec Swaby comes back to work. It doesn't seem as if he's interested in coming back to work. I'm just kidding. Alec is on leave, and we'll can't wait to have him back. All right? Have a good rest of the weekend. See you again next week.